Testing 1 2 1 2. If you're watching this in the replay, I'll be playing a couple of intros, a little music, and then we go right to the stream. So hang in there. We'll get right to the meat of it. And if you're watching this live, well, you know me, you got to suffer it. So enjoy.
You stole my heart, you intercepted it. Now you're gone, have to accept it. Did I meet your mom too soon? Or did I do what I always do? Yeah, we made it to the 50, and then you kissed me. We made it to the 40, a new love story. We made it to the 30, and you did me dirty right then. You put the end in tight end, and as I touched down, just like you in a game, I'm in another town, and nothing feels the same. Wish I could go back when we met that day. Oh, whoa, and throw a flag on the play. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast.
So waiting
to all of the queens who are fighting alone, baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Let's go.
Without me, you wanna, but you can't. Nah. Think it's funny, but honey, can't run the show on your own. I can feel my body shake. There's only so much I can take. I'll show you how a real queen behaves. No damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't tame me. And you might think I'm weak without a sword, but if I had one, it'd be bigger than yours. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
She's the queen and I'm just lucky to get close to the throne. I'm not worthy, but she's taking me home. Yeah. No damsel in distress, don't need to save her. She's a goddess, I would never try to change her. She knows she got my world inside of her palm, but she can have whatever she wants.
All the kings had their queens on the throne. We would pop champagne and raise a toast to all the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Let's go. I'm a queen, I'm a boss, I'm a brat. Hella independent, I get this, I get that. Shout out to the girls from the burp to the trap. I don't need a man for shit, put myself on the map. Oh, and they thought I was done. I ain't even hit my peak and I'm still on the run. I'm my Lolo on the laptop, I'm running the track. Only time I see it L's in a luxury tax. And my house ain't when they post a pic just because they're like, oh, she chillin'. $1 million deals and my lipstick still it. I need acrylic nails, I don't need no critics. So witty gon' glow, so witty gon' shine. Circle full of tens, I don't see no nines. My name on they lips, my name on they mind. How I take it from the block to the Hollywood sign.
All the kings had their queens on the throne. We would pop champagne and raise a toast to all the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
Hold on. Hold on.
Wait,
All stop. If you want to listen to the rest of this one, you got to go to his channel. Okay, Lasman has a song now. I got to hear the quack. Oh my.
What?
Oh my.
The unholy fuck is that?
Welcome.
What?
Welcome, Mandy Winters. We got, dude. This is a Outer Pangea Crapcast exclusive here. Live reaction. Look at this.
That's fucking gay.
I fucking love it already.
Yes!
He's a little different and defining, a little odd, but his character is a dog with a macho body. His books are all about peace. He's ready for the feast. He will not be police. All his business is about clocks and the people that take hard knocks. It's mental and energetically wild. The art looks like it was doubled down. His books are all about peace. He's ready for the feast. He will not be police. I am told Alice is an Irish man. Hard to tell.
Oh, this is
With
great.
that bronze tan, he hero
Yeah, you got a new intro, bro.
Samuel.
Have you ever had any therapy?
Oh no!
Oh, talk to you, chat.
He's ready for the feast. He will not be police. They call him the Duck Lord.
Talk Lord.
Duck Lord, yeah!
Watching folks is shows. And watching folks is His books are all about peace. He's ready for the feast. He will not be police.
What the hell is that?
It's a clock person. Your attention to detail is a clock
Books are
person.
all about
Oh, it's goddamn clock people, damn it!
He's ready for the feast. He will not
I'm dying.
police.
Wow. Goddamn clock people. We're back.
Woo.
Absolutely beautiful.
Oh no!
And thank you, Mr. Duckman.
Okay, that's it. That's strike three.
Shoot.
Behind the fire and smoke, a beautiful city now, a war zone, fighting in streets, no time to joke. Just pray we survive, pray we're not alone. The dangers around the corners of every street, but we won't back down. We won't admit defeat. We need a hero, a savior we can lean
bad. You've been out all night, know you've been bad. Don't tell me different, know it's a lie. Come to me, honey, see how I cry. Why must you hurt me? Do what you do. Listen here, girl, can't you see I love you? Make a little effort, try to be true. I'll be happy, not so blue. You keep on telling me those lies, still going out with other guys. There's come a day when I'll be gone. Take my advice, won't be long. When that day comes, won't be mad. Be free of you, but I'll still be sad. In spite of you cheating, still love you so. I'll be unhappy, I'll let you go. You keep on telling me those lies, still going out with other guys. There'll come a day when I'll be gone. Take my advice, won't be long. When that day comes, won't be mad. Be free of you, but I'll still be sad. In spite of you cheating, still love you so. I'll be unhappy, I'll let you go.
All right, testing 1 2. So I'm running the stream without the OBS so I can avoid any issues with the mic. So we're gonna see how this goes. I see the rings that go around my avatar to know that I am talking. But then again, it seemed like when I was still doing that, there was still some roboting last time. So we're gonna hope for a good audio this time around. And on a very rainy night where I'm at right now, it's stormy. Some really nasty clouds are currently passing. It's been raining the last hour. We're still in the middle of summer. We're not in the middle. We're near the end of summer. So it tends to get dark around 8:30 or so forth, but it got dark by 7:30. That's how nasty the storm clouds are. But we're not here for that. We're definitely not here for that. Hail to the chat. Hail to a very low number right now. Yes, I am definitely aware that people are streaming over me. This is the thing now. So the last couple streams have been good numbers wise, but we're gonna see how it goes tonight. If the number stays consistently low tonight, then this will probably be the last time I stream at this time. Sometimes you got to read the room, and sometimes you gotta, and I'm seeing some of my regulars are not here anymore. They've drifted elsewhere. So it is part of a creator's journey to build their path, build their platform, build their, I guess you could say, enterprise. And I'm seeing a lot of creators in my sphere. Some making good choices, some making really retarded choices, like really dumb choices. And I just scratch my head because there is still a mission field out there. There's still people waiting to buy books, but we're not tapping into them, which is why I'm personally doing something about it. I'm definitely doing something about it. I am going to be at the CCon in New Jersey on September 29th. Yes, I will be there at the Seabright Recreation Center. There is the address right there. If you're in the New Jersey area, let me say it slower so that I don't mumble my words. The New Jersey area. The address is 1167 Ocean Avenue in Seabright, New Jersey. It's right next to the beach. Hopefully it'll be warm then, but not that it matters. I'll be indoors. But yes, I will be there along with Dark Gift Comics. You'll be there too. So we are making moves. We are expanding from this internet circle, excuse me, this internet circle, and actually expanding our enterprises, our respective enterprises, with other people who are not enmeshed in this retardation that we call indie comics, Twitter, online, CG, whatever you want to call it these days now. Um, so we are doing that, and personally for myself, it's probably the next step for me, and it's going to be the way to go to try to expand myself because I don't think it's conducive for any creator to really stay in one space. And I learned that lesson, and it's a healthy lesson to learn as long as you're in a position to do something about it. And yes, this does have something to do with today's creator because I actually started following him today on Twitter. And oh, look who's here. She's finally here. Look at that. Don't do me any favors. I know you hate me. I know you are my biggest harasser. And I'm still gonna strike your book when it comes out. Mark my words, it'll get struck. Mark my words. Colors. Oh no, it's my other abuser. Why do you type these things, Shifter? Why is it when I'm trying to be serious and be irrelevant and significant, you have to come in here and throw these like total non sequiturs that are just violent in tone and nature? It's totally not what we are here about. Totally not. And don't call me the D word, Carol, because I will strike you down for that too. This is racist. That's very hateful. Extremely hateful. Did I mention I'll be at the CCon September 29th? That's a Sunday, 10 to 4. So if you're in the New Jersey area, me and Dark Gift will be at that convention. I think Vaughn Coleman, the creator of Phenomenova, he will be there too. I don't think he's going to have his books there because he said that his books are currently at the printer or will most likely be at the printer, but he may hang around there, so you'll see 3 of us there. And no, you're not going to be there throwing tables. I won't allow it. You're not going to be throwing tables. So there'll be 3 of us. Well, 2 of us with tables and 1 just hanging around. So if you're in that area, come join us for some merch, books, pictures, whatever the case is. Come and have fun. I'll be bringing copies of Street Champion Road Warrior Drake. I'm supposed to be picking those up tomorrow at the printers because the backers who backed that book in the Beast Citizen campaign, they have those books waiting for them. So I'll be sending those books out. And I have extras that I printed, which I'm going to be selling at the CCon. Looking forward to that. So yes, I will be there September 29th. And if you are there too, come and join us. Peter Bagge is our Bagge. I had to practice pronouncing the guy's name. It's not Bagge. It's pronounced Bag. I don't know why. Who am I to correct a man's pronunciation of his last name, his given name? Who am I to do that? Just your friendly neighborhood Pac. But yeah, he's a pretty interesting guy, pretty interesting artwork. We're gonna go into it, and something we can learn from his Twitter feed. I know that I've learned from it. This is reason.com. It's a political website. And yes, our man writes for this. Well, he doesn't write for it. He's an editor and an artist, a cartoonist who contributes some very wacky artwork. This is, of course, the thumbnail here. And we're going to be looking at some of his other stuff. And he's pretty well known for a series of books called Hate. And yes, he's a libertarian, so you will probably get a little sense of that when you see his artwork and his storytelling. But hey, at least he's not a danger-haired person. So I can get with that. Definitely a cartoonist, but he's very successful. And we're going to look at his Twitter feed in a few minutes. I just want to go over some of his artwork and a little bit about who he is. But he's done some work for Mad Magazine, of all things, too, as well, which, as you can tell by his style, it's fitting for him. This is a pretty wacky sort of art. This is the books that he did called Hate. And they're available in collective volumes. And you can see a little bit of R. Crumb inspiration on him. I think he does cite Crumb as one of his inspirations. It's very evident in his style. Am I going for a swim? You want me to swim, don't you? I bet you do, Shifter. I bet you want me to sink, right? I bet you never want me to resurface ever again, right, Shifter? I bet you do. But it's fine, though. That's fine. Colin is in the chat. Colin Lamping says, to be a fair lad, we're not surprised you mispronounced last names considering you always say mine wrong. Well, how do you say your name? It's not Lamping? Did I say it wrong? Did I? Well, go ahead and cancel me. Put it out there on Twitter. I said your last name wrong. I need to be kicked out of the movement. Well, there's no movement anymore, but kick me out. Do it. I mispronounced Colin's last name. By the way, you should go check out Emerald Man on Colin Lamping's Twitter. He's on issue number 14 now. He's working on issue 14. He just put out 13, and now he's on to 14. So he's putting them out. He's putting his books out. Go check him out on Twitter. He's taking Elasmat for a swim to go out. One comes back. Oh, I know that's your fan fiction for me, Shifter. I know that is your fan fiction for me. You said it right, but you always say Lamp King. I don't say Lamp King. Do I say Lamp King? I don't think I've ever said. Maybe I don't know. Maybe my impediment, my speech impediment, make it sound like Lamp King. I don't know. I've always pronounced it Lamping, but what do I know? Lamp. Okay, Lampling. Okay, yeah, there you go. Maybe that's what I did. I think that's more accurate. I think that's my more accurate mispronunciation of your last name, Lampling. Yes, it's actually Lamping. Okay. Put a cross on my yard. What do you want me to do? I said it wrong. Bear says, "Damn, already playing the victim card. A little. It's never Bear. The attacks come early. I'm just reporting the facts. The attacks come, and I'm reporting it. What do you want me to do? Just let them throw their darts at me and their speed checks at me for an hour and then say something, or do I say it immediately so that the rest stop? What do you want me to do? Why do you want me to go meander in life with bruises and spears and piercings and blood? Why can't I just be alive and happy? I have to wait an hour. I gotta wait for you to tell me, okay, now you can cry, victim. Now you can cry about the spears that's hitting you. Justice for the chat, says Bear. The chat's coming at me. I'm the only host where the chat attacks me. Other streams, the chat helps the host, but not here. Not here. They don't do it here. They just come at me with the spears and the darts, and that's what they do. Pure hatred. So hate is one of his books. But let me quickly give you a little background on Peter Bagge. His name is Bagge. Yes, Bagge. He's an identified cartoonist, and he's done work for Mad Magazine, Discover, Weekly World News. I just showed you a Reason, which is where he does editorials as well as some artwork. And yes, he's a libertarian. Just to give you an idea, he's born in New York. Oh, he also is an alumni of School of Visual Arts, where me and Matt Barr attended. So he's a fellow alumni of SVA. Look at that. Well, actually, no, he didn't finish it though. He dropped out. 3 semesters in, and he drops out of SVA. But that goes to show you that being a college graduate of an art school doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be an accomplished artist. So trust me, I don't go around telling people that I'm a alumni at SVA. I don't think it's a flex, to be honest with you. But I will tell you that my experiences at SVA were good in the first year, where my teachers were Carmine Infantino, Joe Orlando, Jack Harris, some of the legends in comics. Those are my instructors, but most of my instructors, maybe 1 or 2 were good outside of those gentlemen, but other than that, it was just a waste of time at SVA. So I trust me, I don't consider that a flex by any stretch of the imagination. Not a flex at all. Definitely not a flex. Let's see here. So yeah, I mentioned he was inspired by R. Crumb, and Crumb actually helped him with some publishing too early on. But his biggest works were Hate, and yeah, that's one of the things he's known for. And that's what you're looking at in the screen right there. And let's look at some other stuff he's done. Here's Buddy Boys a Dump. No, Buddy Buys a Dump. Yeah, the complete Buddy Bradley story from Hate Comics Volume 3. It's Fantagraphics that produces these books. Man, they're gonna make me broke. They're gonna make me broke. But if you look at his art style, very, very, very expressive, colorful, very colorful. He's done some black and white too. I'm going to look at some of his black and white stuff because they're very good too. But this is the kind of stuff that you won't find in our indie circle because they emphasize the wrong things. Here's an example right here of the Bradleys. This is black and white work. Definitely has a spirit of the American Underground. For sure. Like, this is the kind of stuff you would find in a Cloud City Comics, for example. I definitely see this. I see this quite often. Not this book, but like I see this kind of artwork. And with the right story, it's, to me, very superior completely superior. This is Fantagraphics promoting it. This is from Volume 3 of Hate, I think, right? These are just some suck panels from the book and the story. So, did they teach you how to swim there at SVA? Of course not. Why would they do that? Why would they teach me how to survive and live? Why would they? No, they did not. They did no such thing. Absolutely not. Totally not. We are merely making you stronger by mocking my speech impediment. That makes me stronger. No, that doesn't make me stronger. It just all the more stresses that we need advocacy in this sphere. I mean sphere. I didn't say spear. I said sphere. That's what that means. Where would you be without us? Where would I be without you? I don't know. I don't know. But the chat, but the community has helped me with getting my books out there, and you guys have been great. And those at Backstreet Champion Road Warrior Drake, you're going to be getting those books this week. Well, not this week. I'll be getting them this week, and I'll be starting to fulfill them. So, oh look, it's Bat Sauce. Hail Bat Sauce. Welcome to the chat. Hail Bat Sauce. Your number 6 favorite Pac. You mean there's 5 before me? There's 5 before me. I don't think I'm with that. I disavow that. Because where are those 5 when I'm being attacked? I'll tell you where they're not at. They're not in front of me. Help me with the spears that are thrown at me. So they're definitely not advocating for my welfare and health and wellness, Jack. But Peter Bagge, we're looking at his work here. This is his stuff. No, this is what Fantagraphics has posted on Twitter. They're promoting Hate. That's the name of the book, by the way. The series is called Hate. Not that they're promoting the message of hate. They're promoting the stories called Hate because I think that's kind of a based thing to call it. Sure. Now, when you look at Peter Bagge's Twitter timeline, if he's not posting his artwork, other people are. Here's a cover for Hate Revisited. Obviously poking fun at Black Lives Matter. Isn't that true? The liberal white chick advocating for liberal BLM. How true is that? It's so true. This is like the anti mainstream comic. Like, you know how they talked about how we were supposed to be an apolitical movement in comics, but still, there's still some commentary that's missing. And this may be on the nose, but it's still pretty truthful, though. It's definitely very truthful. This is I'm going too fast. But yeah, you could definitely see the art crumb inspiration in this. And I love the colors. The colors are very vibrant. Yeah, this definitely reminds me of some of Art Crumb's earlier work, minus the tits. Let's see here. We have Lady Shadowban in the chat. She's joining us here. Guy in his room says, I might like this guy already. Oh, I think you will. I think you absolutely will. He's a libertarian and he's pretty based. And some of his artwork is very, to me, it's very attractive artwork because of the colors. I think the colors do it lots of justice here. Let me go ahead and bring this backwards a bit so you can see better. But it's very expressive. You can tell what's going on. And again, it's cartoonish. It's meant to be a cartoonish style. And he's telling a very, how can I put it? It's a very conventional story with humor. And the best way he knows how to do it, just telling it with a very cartoony style, commentary, and just laughing at people. And that's missing in our sphere today because people take themselves seriously. People take themselves way too seriously. Hail to the chat, says Lady Shadowban. Yes, hail to the chat. So I'm not begging you guys. How dare you say that? I'm absolutely not begging you. I don't beg anybody. I am me, and I'm important. I really am important. I'm a big guy in this circle. I ask somebody. Ask anybody. If they don't know who I am, then there's something wrong with them, and I can prove it. But anyway, so yeah, Peter Bagge's art style is, I love it, and you will get to see more of why I do what I do with my style, and how I go about with my work with B Citizen Road Warrior Drake. This one was not scanned. Oh well, I can enlarge it, so there you go. This one doesn't have any words, but it's good visual storytelling. And I don't think I need to offer any commentary. You could just look at it for yourself and let the pictures tell the story. And this is the kind of escapism. Like when you see what's going on in the world, how fucked up our world is, and you go to something like this visually, it just pulls you in and helps you get out of the realness of this world and escape into something that's a mirror of how fucked up we are, but it's still pretty funny because it visually is something that allows you to laugh at your calamity. You know, totally like it. Totally like it a lot. Let me get out of my Discord for a second. There we go. Well, so far there's no issues with my mic, which means that it's definitely OBS that is giving me the problems from last time. I had an 8-hour stream on Saturday. It was 8 hours because I had DA Talks and Hen and Lord Raptor and Angela Curry was on, and it was a marathon stream. It was fun, but I didn't know it would go on that long. But I took that stream down because I had 15 copyright claims. 7 of them resulted in getting my stream blocked. So I was like, you know what? Let me not risk a copyright strike. So I took the stream down. But it's available on Rumble. So if for some reason, for whatever reason, you wanted to go through 8 hours of what I'm doing on a Saturday and you want to take that stream out, it's on my Rumble channel. So you can check it out there. What was my point in saying this? I was going somewhere with this. I don't even know where I was going with this. I have no freaking clue. I wanted to non sequitur and I have no clue what I was talking about. I am not begging for relevance, Bear. I don't beg for relevance. I am relevant. I am very relevant. So, yeah, I get that. I like the break out of my tick and Paul. I don't know what you just. I don't know why I butchered your message there, but I'm just keeping it highlighted so that if, in case I read it wrong, people can read for themselves. We are a community of readers, so absolutely, 100%. The samurai books love those runs. When I get to break out my tick and Paul, the samurai books love those runs. Okay, cool. Soon guys actually watched some of it, so I'm guessing by some you meant 2 hours since it was an 8-hour stream. Actually, there was only really 2 hours of good content in that stream. Oh yeah, I was talking about that because of the mic issues and I had the OBS on because I was showing. I mean, it was a draw stream and I used the OBS to show the drawing, but I think that's part of what is messing up with the mic. But probably got to download some drivers. I'm getting a new mic, allegedly, and I'll be getting instructions on downloading the drivers so that it could work well. So, but I also need a new setup. At some point, I'm gonna need a new setup. But that'll come when I make a little more extra money. But right now, most of my money is going to bills. It's going to staying alive. So yeah. So like the rest of America, struggling like the rest of America. But I don't do these books. My books that I do, the Road Warrior Drake books, you know, the graphic novels with complete stories, absolute complete stories. You know, not fragmented stories, not stories that give you a partial portion of a story and you gotta wait years for the next part. No, these are complete stories, and they tell a bigger arc. But Street Champion Road Warrior Drake and B Citizen Road Warrior Drake are complete stories. They're absolutely complete stories, and you can get them both in a couple weeks when I relaunch the Second Chance campaign on Fund My Comic. Yes, I will be relaunching a Second Chance campaign, and by that time, I should have all, if not most, of the book complete. Actually, I should have said most, if not all, the book complete. And then it'll go for some editing and looking over so I can make some changes, make some improvements, and then hopefully get it into the printers by, if not October, November. And then maybe get them in by December so I can start fulfilling them. However, if the campaign goes live in September, I'm probably anticipating some more orders. So you never read the tick before? Okay, I thought that's what you meant when you said the tick. I think you meant ticks. Okay, yeah. That was in high school. I had a friend who was a big fan of the tick, and he used to read those comics. But I think I read a couple issues and I didn't follow up with it after that. My time is usually just booked up. See, the thing with me is when I'm into something, I usually stay focused on it. So I don't really get into new IPs or new stories till later on. So that's why, like, even though I know of it, like the tick, I haven't fully read the Max. or Tank Girl. So because my time reading was with other characters. I discovered Cerebus late in my life, so I read the entire run of Cerebus, and catching up on all the EC comics like Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror, and rereading some of the old DC and Marvel, they were called Timely comics back then. So I'm catching up on a lot, and but I've been talking about the Popeye hardcover by Fantagraphics, the Tracy stuff. So there's a lot that I'm reading or have to read. So if I haven't read it, it's not because I never heard of it or because I just didn't want to. It's time is limited, and the reality is we're not going to read everything we want. We got to cherish our time and use it wisely, and just be thankful for what we were able to commit our time to. Let's see here. Yeah, Cracked. I think Cracked was another thing that Peter Bagge worked on. This is more of his artwork right here. Yeah, we're on his Twitter. This is Peter Bagge's Twitter feed. If you type in his name, it'll be the first thing that pops up, and you just go ahead and follow him. I would just go ahead and follow him. It's funny, and let me just go up a second. I wanted to see who was following him, to see if anybody of my mutuals was following him, and there's only 5 people of my mutuals that are following him. None of them are in the indie sphere or in the comic skate sphere, the CG sphere, or anything adjacent to that. The only one closest to it, well, there's nobody really close to it. It's weird. A lot of these creators, a lot of these like influential comic book indie guys are not really even referenced or leaned on towards by guys in our sphere who talk about art or good comics. And I'm like, I don't think you understand what a good comic is. It isn't just something that looks like a painting on the Louvre. It's something that's fun. It has to be fun to look at and fun to read. I think good artwork is something that's fun to look at. And Peter Bagge stuff is definitely fun to look at. This stands out to me. This is something that would be laughed at in our sphere. Totally laughed at in our sphere. Absolutely laughed at. And that's a tragedy because it's very ignorant. It's very closed-minded. Self-destructive for our sphere, for our circle. Very self-destructive. And yeah, I'm well aware I have a message that they're gonna have to wait. But yeah, he's reposting people sharing his stuff. He's got people sharing his stuff. This is from an underground comic from New York, according to this gentleman, according to this guy Acrylic. Comical Funnies from 1980. This is 1980. This is one of Peter Bagge's earlier stuff from 1980. That's how long he's been doing this. He's been doing this for what were we, 2024? So 40, he's been doing this for 40 years. He's been active for 44 years, this guy. Yeah, I love newsprint too. That's why, like, when you look at my artwork for Beastus and Road Warrior Drake, that's why I have that newsprint look to it. I mean, it's not gonna feel like newsprint, but it has that newsprint look. So, like, let me just get rid of this for a second. Let me remove this. Let me shrink myself. So you see the background here. See how this is a close-up of one of the panels in Beast, Citizen, Road Warrior Drake. You can see the graininess of it. It adds to the newsprint look of it. Because I want to capture that retro feel. I like that look myself, to be honest. It's a very nostalgic and part of the look of some of our most favorite and timely comics, I think. Bear says, too many don't look past the glossy paper and over-rendered art. So many great books on newsprint out there. Newsprint is yeah, it's I think it's every bit as part of our comic lore as the characters and stories that we're reading. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying creators shouldn't print their stuff in glossy paper or not too glossy because you don't want the light to reflect on it and it makes it hard to read. But there is something to be said about the appeal of newsprint visually. So I'd rather print my stuff on it. It's cheaper that way. That's why Peter Simeti does it. He saves money on his books by printing on newsprint. It's very cheap. But you also have to like you got to really take care of those books though if you do it in newsprint because newsprint also ages faster. It does wear out faster, but if you take care of it, it'll last you for a long time. And I still have some older comics on newsprint still in my very few though. I don't have a big collection, but I have one. I have an older Fantastic Four comic, uh, newsprint and all. I still have that in my collection, so um, it is a definitely underrated look. And it actually helps mask the art too. I think it adds more to the character of the art. Like looking at this, you could tell like how it helps with the colors aren't too. The colors are bright, but they're not too bright. Newsprint just gives it a very soft, pleasant to the eye look. This one for $100. This guy got it for $100 in good condition. See, the thing with comics and their value is it depends on if they are how readily available they are. So if they're not readily available, it makes them valuable. And by that I mean like it's hard to even find them online in digital format. When did he work on Mad Magazine? Let me see. He worked on Mad Magazine. Let me see here. I can tell you exactly when. Let me see. If I go here, I say here as if you guys can see it. That's hilarious. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. I would have to say in the 80s. It would have to be sometime in the 80s and the 90s. Probably the early 90s, I would say. Let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking. Because the early 80s, he was working on a magazine called Weirdo, which was being edited by R. Crumb. And then in 1984, Crumb gave that over to Bagge. And he did that for 3 years. So I'm guessing late 80s, early 90s is when he was doing Mad Magazine. That's what I'm guessing. Well, at some point, I'll probably stumble onto the truth and we'll know. Okay, Colin says, I recognize his art style, not remembering his name. Yeah, I saw his art style, and I'm like, wait, I've seen that style before. I'm that's very familiar. It's a very familiar art style. But part of the familiarity is because he was influenced by R. Crumb. So I looked at it and I'm like, this guy looks like he was inspired by R. Crumb, and sure enough, he was. But he took the inspiration and made something out of it that was his own unique style. School Library had some mad issues. Yeah, you probably did see some of his stuff on there. But this is I like this a lot. It's very let's see some of what the comments are saying. Yeah, they love it. Like, see, here's the thing, and this is the thing that I want creators to pay attention to. Look what the comments are saying, and these are comic book fans. These are not just people that are just trying to own it to the libs or trying to be the voice of the channel, the voice of the customers, yada yada. They're just fans. They're just comic fans. They like art. They like stories. They like the craft of a comic. And look what they're saying. Now, granted, I think a lot of these were Ramones fans, so how could you not like this if you're a Ramones fan? I'm not a Ramones fan. Oh, no, I don't hate the Ramones. I just don't listen to their music often. But even I'm like, this is pretty good. This is a very dope cover. So I can see why this went for $100. So yeah, so these are people that are very happy to obtain some of his artwork. Here's somebody doing a video series on Peter Bagge's hate. This is Spums, I guess. If you go to Peter Bagge's Twitter, you will see a lot of this. But yeah, his Twitter feed is filled with his artwork, whether he's reposting it or someone else is reposting it. This is kind of a theme you're going to be seeing here. I definitely saw his artwork. I got tons of Mad Magazine in the 90s. Some had older reprints in them for the holiday editions. I've collected maybe a couple of Mad Magazines. I've read a few, but I've only collected a couple. One of them that I got when I was in the hospital. So that's a long story, but yeah, this is one of the panels that we just saw. This is from the Buddy series. It's kind of artwork you don't see in our indie sphere. People are too busy trying to look good and not trying to have fun. And speaking of which, one thing you'll see on Peter's timeline, you don't see him fight with other creators. You don't see him critiquing other people's work. You don't see him owning his peers left and right. You don't see him getting involved in clique battles. He's just promoting his stuff and letting the fans speak. He's kind of, it's somewhat similar to, not too similar, but somewhat similar to what the mangaka do, like Juan and Ipatu, how they just let their work speak for themselves. He's kind of doing the same thing here. I caught that when I was going through his feed. I'm like, wow, he's really just sticking to his craft, his brand, and letting the fans speak. He's letting the fans speak, for sure. Massive Panda's in the chat. How you doing, my friend? Hey, what's going on? I missed the first 5 minutes. First, the first 45 minutes. I botched that. I am botching your words. Forgive me. That was not the mic. That was totally me. But this is cool looking stuff. This is Peter Bagge. And yeah, he's done work for Mad Magazine. He's done work for a website called Reason, which is a libertarian website where he contributes editorials as well as artwork. But yeah, he has a series called Hate, which this is from. It's a commentary on Americana. It's meant to be funny, visually funny, and funny commentary as well. This was from back in 1995. Guy in his room. I was in the hospital in 1995 it was a burn situation. I had to stay in the hospital for a month, but I was given a copy of Mad Magazine to cheer me up, and it remained etched in my mind ever since. So this is years ago. Although there isn't a decade in my life where I don't spend an inordinate amount of time in the hospital, whether it's in the 80s when I was in the hospital for a couple weeks for something that related to my arm being frozen and I had to get water removed out of my body, excess water, or in the 90s when I had my burn accident, or in the 2000s where I was in the hospital for a week because of appendicitis, or 2013 when I was in the hospital for a week and two for breaking my leg and I was out of action for 3 months. What major catastrophe will put me in the hospital this decade? We'll see. Hopefully nothing too major. Oh, we have Student of God in the chat. Hail, Student of God. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Guy in his room says, I was always more into comedy than comics, so that's why I got mad. Also cracked a lot. Comics can be funny. And I was told by Batsoff not long ago that I should promote my book as a comedy. And the thing is, Road Warrior Drake is a comedy, but it's also action. And there's elements of drama in the stories too. And with Beastus and Road Warrior Drake, there's going to be some Peckinpah style action. We'll say Peckinpah. Sam Peckinpah. If you're familiar with his stuff like the Dirty Dozen or not the Dirty Dozen. What was that movie he did? What's that Sam Peckinpah movie? The one that people talk about. The Wop Pack or something? Yes. Sam Peckinpah. Let's see here. What was his most famous movie? The Wild Bunch. That's the one. That's what I was thinking about. The Wild Bunch. Yeah, that one. There's going to be some elements of Sam Peckinpah in Be a Citizen, Road Warrior Drake in the third act. I won't say more than that, but I plan that book to be very well-rounded. Lots of comedy, lots of action, character development, and, when there's battles, people tend to fall because that's the reality of violence and war. So there's a certain reality that Road Warrior Drake will face in all his books, and that reality is called tragedy. He experienced tragedy in the first book. He'll experience a form of tragedy in the second book, and you can expect something in the third book. That's how he grows. That's part of his life. That's part of how Drake copes when he gets sarcastic and relies on humor. And the world is a world of comedy and absolute pathos. I'm being significant and telling a good story, Bear. Don't feel bad for me. There's too many sick people in the hospitals. I agree, Shifter. We need more healthy people in the hospitals. It's a scam. I totally believe it. Calamity. Alaska says Big Bandolero. Hell, right on. I will try to stay out of the hospital, no guarantees, but I promise not to rack up a big bill. No wonder I am. What does that mean? I'm strange. What are you talking about? I'm a human being. I have a soul. See, when I'm trying to be serious and you're trying to attack me with this is not helpful for us. You divide the community with this, Bear. Stop it. Get on the team or stop it. Guy in his room says, I agree. I kind of assumed your comic was a comedy. Yeah, it is. Action-packed comedy. But there are elements of drama as well for a well-rounded story. I went to the hospital for appendicitis. Appendixless bros unite. Yes, we of the Appendixless Society. We are coming for you, full-rounded people. Watch out for us. Hope. Have you ever heard of Doth? Oh, I'm not reading that, Colin. I'm not reading that. Shame on you. You're a writer. You should know better. I think you're a writer. I know you're an artist, but are you a writer? You probably are, but still, shame on you for that. It's not a real story. Ha 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 ha. Very funny. I heard Drake is a. No, this is not. This is not true, but you're spreading fake news. It's fake news. You're gonna make me drink with this harassment. Stop it. Why are we talking about the hospital? I make one story about the hospital, and you guys are still in the chat with hospital tales. It's not what the purpose of the stream is. Yes, I do the same thing. I write and draw my comic. Yes, we are both auteurs, Colin. We are both members of the same team of creators who write and draw our own stuff. And we are both outliers because a lot of people think our stuff isn't great. Although I disagree with them, I think your stuff is awesome because, as Fiona put it, you have a very positive and very inspirational character, and I could sense in your writing. So we need more Colin Lampings in our sphere. Does Road Warrior Drake talk like guy in his room? You should know better than that. You should. I didn't start shit, Bear. See, I was trying to reply to guy in his room for his gaslighting, and you got to come in with the gaslighting yourself. What do you, bro? What are you, butt buddies now? Is that what this is? You guys stumbling in the weeds with your car running at me, running over me, trying to George Floyd me? I tell a story, and you gotta come with the gaslighting. You gotta do all these things to me. It's not right. It's not. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is interesting. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's see. Interesting. What's with the epitaphs from the abyss? This is not a. Let me see. This person says brief interruption from immediate break to say Bagge has still got it. EC has not. EFTA is for me. Epitaph from the abyss. Not how to create a short, dense, well constructed, completely clear plot is not visible for me. So he's comparing this. Is this current EC Comics? Epitaph from the abyss. I'm kind of deviating from a bit, but I didn't know this was this is current EC. This is not really good for a horror comic. That's not the kind of art style you would put for a horror comic. Interesting that they made this comparison. Very interesting. The stuff you learn when you go to someone else's timeline that isn't a retard trying to start fights with other creators. Clampett style Daffy, but oh, look at this. This is Peter Bagge's Daffy Duck. Look at that. Look at that. Look, we've gone full circle. Here's Peter Bagge's Daffy Duck. And look, and as I show this, look what you type, guy in his room. Look what you type. See, I trolled you. I suckered you in. You did the job for me. Takes forever to get the issue out when you're doing all the work yourself. A little close to the mark, I think. Oh, what? You want credit for my downfall? Well, you ain't getting it. I defy your attack. I rise stronger. The power of my ancestors just helps me to overcome your spear chucks at me. Every 2 months, Colin puts his Emerald Man out, so you get a bi-monthly schedule there. So you're guaranteed to get the following adventures and get it consistently by Colin. Massive Panda says, would you consider this type of work gross out style, or are people used to characterize Crumb's work? Well, his style, so he doesn't go for the same type of shock that R. Crumb does. R. Crumb is more sexual, more bare, if you could say that. But it seems like Peter just uses his stuff for like more conventional storytelling, more commentary on Americana, as you could say. Because I haven't seen anything that he's put out there that would match Crumb in terms of tone. So I think they're definitely both distinct. So no, I don't think his stuff is gross out at all. From what I've seen, definitely not gross out. But you're right about the looseness. And I think that's what I think people confuse the looseness and fluidity of Bagge style to being gross out because they're used to this idea that if it doesn't look like a John Byrne comic or Romita or even or Liefeld, then it's gross out, amateurish, and no, that's totally inaccurate. And I personally would say this is loose also, but it's only because I'm used to seeing comics being drawn a certain way, and I've always been a champion of different styles, different types of storytelling in comics. And you look at this, and you can't tell me you would see this and not feel like you want to go out there and just enter that world. Let me open this up another tab so you guys can see it a little more clear. Like, tell me you don't see this and you feel drawn in and you feel like you're ready to escape wherever you're at right now and enter this alternate world where you know your problems don't exist. Like, I see this and I'm like, yeah, my problems don't exist right now because I'm in a different world right now, and it's funny and it's entertaining, and I can escape for a little bit and just have fun in my own little circle or my own corner of life and enjoy this. And that's the way comics should be read. That's how they should be read. It is just loony. It's definitely not gross. It's loony. It's fluid. It's cartoonish. He's a cartoonist. See, the word cartoonist is, I think there's a misconception, especially in our sphere, about what a cartoonist is. A cartoon is meant to be exaggerated in form and style and storytelling. That's how it's meant to be. Which means you can play around with the character's looks, the world you're creating, just have fun with it and just make it as fluid as possible, as long as it services the story and you're able to create some kind of commentary. It has that style that I saw a lot in the 80s. Yeah, this is very similar. Again, I mentioned R. Crumb, but you could also see a little bit of Mark Bodie, son of Von Bodie. You can see a little bit of Eastman and Laird influence. I would say, well, not Finster, but maybe Gary Panther. I gotta redo Gary Panther because I don't think I showed a lot of his best stuff. And Gary Panther's got a lot of good stuff, but we got sidetracked on, and that's fine because with these kind of streams that we do, when we get sidetracked and get into other conversations, that it's good because I mean there's a lot of information you guys can walk away from, and then hopefully it will help with your love and enjoyment of these type of comics that we're missing in our sphere because everything's got to be a certain way. And I'm like, no, it doesn't have to be a certain way. It could be any way the creator wants, as long as the customer or the market likes it and wants more of it. Like Roy Thomas said, he may not know what art is, but he knows what he likes. It's cartoonish. It's a cartoonish life. It's a cartoonish style. That's the best way to put it. I really like this type of stuff. He really knows where to apply line weights and where to render cross hatching. It looks great. That's a good point because as I mentioned before in my other streams, that as long as your style's consistent, then in my opinion, you have what can be considered art in comics. It doesn't have to look like a John Byrne. Doesn't have to look like or even a life. I keep mentioning those guys, but they're considered the standard in their respective decades. But as long as there's consistency in your art style, you can make a case that it could be, artistic. I think this is very artistic. This is a very artistic style. Not appreciated by, I keep saying the indie sphere, but I will say specifically CG. They don't appreciate this. There's no appreciation for this kind of art style or this kind of visual storytelling. It's part of Americana. It's part of our comics history. It's part of why manga is kicking our asses, because manga understands that visually the art has to help you escape from the real world that you're in and enter into a different alternative world where you can laugh at your calamity. I like black and white art. My first books were Savage Sword of Conan and good stuff. Yeah, I have like 3 or 4 volumes of Savage Sword of Conan, and I in the black and white. I gotta read it. I really do, because I think it's gonna help me with my third. Spoiler alert! It's gonna help me with my third book in the Road Warrior Drake saga. I won't say more than that, but I did buy volume 6 of Conan the Barbarian, the omnibus. I think it's the first 5 volumes, but I got it for a decent price. It was on sale at a used bookstore. But I need to get more of the Conan stuff, and I gotta sit down one day and just dedicate my days to reading and catching up on Conan. Definitely for the third Road Warrior Drake book, which I have a name for it already, but I'm not going to reveal it yet. Colin says, current comics are perpetually stuck in the 90s, which in my opinion it was the worst comic book period. A hot take, Colin, I kind of agree with you. It's funny because that gave us some good, interesting, not good, but interesting indie comics. It gave us the Mask. It gave us Tank Girl. It gave us the Crow. Right? It gave us all those indie comics, but those comics were kind of following a certain trend of this very what's a good style to describe Image Comics? Edgelord, edgy boy. Is that a good way to describe it? Because I agree. I definitely agree with you. I think the 90s did set indie comics back big time, and we're seeing it today, and it's boring. The comics in the West are boring. They're absolutely boring in large parts because they're focused on every detail in their art, and they're not focusing on the story and making the story entertaining and fulfilling from page 1 to the last page of that book. It's missing. That's why manga is kicking our asses, and there's a lot of ego in our sphere that is preventing people from looking at manga and saying, you know what? There's a reason why they're doing good. We kind of should emulate what the things they're doing and apply it on our end, so we can start making some buck on our end. But I think it's asking for too much. For some reason, it's asking a lot out of creators. Agreed. Not sure if there was ever been any polling research data out there on the subject, but I bet people relate more to characters in cartoony styles than those in realistic styles. I bet. So, Master Payne, if you remember last week's stream on Scott McCloud, he made this very point. Remember, I showed you guys a drawing that McCloud did where he drew himself in a cartoony style versus in a more life art style, and he made the point that you would read his book on how to draw comics if you followed him in the cartoony style, because it's more universal. It's more readily appealing to the human eye because it's not as specific, and you're able to escape from the reality of what we are and follow this funny but entertaining looking character. So it goes right back to that Scott McCloud stream. So it's funny you say that because this is very true. And I would say maybe not even polling. Just look at the results of some of the most successful long-running books like Peanuts or Garfield. There's a reason why I did Jim Davis. Twitness was like, Jim Davis is not an outlier. I'm like, well, he is in more ways than you think. Let me just make sure I'm not robotic. Okay, so far I'm good. Yeah, so people like Jim Davis and Charles Schultz and guys like Chick Young and Percy Crosby, their success was heavily based upon their cartoonish style of characters and they had form, they had consistency, so they were artists for sure. But because of the style, it was more universally appealing, and that's why they were successful. And I'm not saying every single comic has to be that way. Absolutely not. But there's definitely truth to artwork that's more universally appealing being more successful. And I think it's part of manga's appeal. God Zoom says, I think there's a place for that realistic art, but at this point with AI, etc., I think people are far less interested in that stuff. You know, it's funny you said that because AI art is boring. AI art is massively boring. All you gotta do is look at the YouTube streams with their thumbnails that's done by AI. And I don't know, you guys tell me, but for me, when I see a YouTube stream with an AI thumbnail, it looks boring as shit. It's flat, it's dull, it's not lifelike at all. It's just, it doesn't pop out. It's just boring, and everybody's doing it, and it's killing visually. It's killing the thumbnail part of YouTube, and at least in our sphere, anyway, it's boring as shit. It really is. AI can copy some artist style to a T, but I really doubt you could put Peter Bagge style or Scott McCloud style or even one style into AI and it would create them accurately. I would say it would not. It wouldn't be able to because it wouldn't understand the fluidity of those artists. I think artists that have a more universal style tend to escape the AI theft because there's a lot more to their style that an AI cannot replicate. AI is going to be like what photography did to realist art. It's going to make people perform more style now. Yeah, and honestly, there was a conversation on Twitter about it. Let me see if I bookmarked it. If I bookmarked it, I'll show it to you. If not, I'll just have to tell you what I saw. But the conversation is about how AI is boring and it's starting to dilute the field. It's absolutely diluting the field for sure. Yeah, I don't think I bookmarked it, but it was a very interesting conversation for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, definitely bookmark it. Let's go up here. I think see something interesting here. Well, I'll talk about that in a little while, but people are starting to get fed up with AI, and I'm not saying AI is here to stay, whether we like it or not. It's here to stay. Some people can learn how to use it to their advantage and work with it and adapt with it, or some people can just walk away defeated by it and let AI totally take over and create a very dull-looking space. Western comics are not just boring; they're hard to follow, slow, confusing, and terribly written. Says Colin. They are absolutely terribly written now. And even in our indie sphere, it's like, what the fudge, bro? What the hell? This is not fun at all. Like, were we hoodwinked? Were we hoodwinked when we decided that we were going to invest in the indie sphere, and it turned out not to be the case? I don't know. It's very weird that we're so far removed from what the audience and the market, the customer, the market, what the market's saying. We're so far removed from it that we're willing to tank our own individual careers and our own individual businesses because, my art. I agree. It made me prefer more style, hence why I like Last Man style, Narwhals, etc. Narwhal's a big fan of my stuff. He likes my art stuff with Road Warrior Drake. That's why he backed it. And I have his book Earthbound that I got to read too. So it didn't only set indie comics. Mainstream is even worse. Yeah, both industries took a step back artistically with the 90s. I grew up in the 80s, and the 80s to me, the 80s beat the 90s in terms of style, stories, and just taking risks and pushing people. The 90s took a step back because the goth emo thing was a thing in the scene, and with Jailbars the Crow, emo start taking over, and the whole goth culture and you can fight me on this one. The whole goth culture is emo inspired, meaning feelings and depression. And I'm not trying to make light of it. It was. I remember being in high school, and there was a whole crew of people that were in the goth lifestyle. Some that I've kept in touch with over the years that came out of it, but they were very how do I say it? They allowed their emotions and depressions to guide their perspective on things. So I'm not sure if it's because the culture encouraged them or what have you, but it was a thing, and the art of that time, whether it's the movies or the comics, took that and it just created an environment of comics that was like kind of foreign to a lot of us. I think The Crow was the only one that was able to succeed from it, but I think that's because The Crow inspired it. It was inspired by it. It kind of inspired that. So I was in the 90s, I was into that style. Not really anymore. I still appreciate it though, says Guy in his room. Anything comedic, a realistic style doesn't fit though. It doesn't fit for certain stories, like a serious story, like a Conan story. Yes, you have to have like a realistic style that with a little exaggeration, because you can't make it too real, because then it becomes stiff. It becomes boring. Problem is not a lot of people who are in control comes entered in they entered people in the industry from the 90s. They entered the indie sphere and look where it's at now. You don't have to be a big manga fan to understand why it's successful. Like I would take the lessons from it and apply it to yourself as a creator so you can make the most of it. For the most part, I agree, says Big Band. But lately, I've been re-examining a lot of aspects of the 90s to see what things were actually beneficial. Yeah, and look, everything we say is general. That doesn't mean that there are specifics that are counter to the general truth. Like there's obviously exceptions when we discuss generalities. So when someone says, well, this is not true, I'm like, okay, you ever heard of the term, the exception proves the rule? Because the exception is very, it stands out because it's not part of the norm. But I'm sure there were things in the 90s that, in terms of comics, that we could learn from. Like J.L. Barr's The Crow. There's things about that book we can learn from. We can learn about The Mask and the success of that book, or The Tick. We can learn about those books and why they were so successful and why they were very influential in the 90s. There were things about those that we can learn from. Yeah, I see AI art, and I go, never mind. Calvin and Hobbes is more endearing and relatable than the majority of stuff I've ever seen. These cartoony styles can emote more and have more character, but that's just my opinion. Well, that's my opinion too, Master Pen. That's part of what I was doing with Drake, and I got shit for it. I got a lot of shit for it when I was entering the CG sphere. I'm like, dude, I mean, are you not familiar with Calvin and Hobbes and Far Side? I mean, Eastman and Laird is the obvious one, but you guys don't like when Wenger got shit for his Drago Knight Aldrich book. I looked at that book visually, and the first thing that came to mind was Beetle Bailey. I'm like, why are you attacking the artwork in that book? It was a comedy. It's a comedic book. It's meant to be silly and cartoonish. Why are you attacking it? Like, why are you knocking it like it's the worst thing ever? It's a bullshit take. It really is bullshit. Yeah, Bloom County is another classic as well. People dump hard on Image, and rightfully so, but it actually showed us the various guardrails and limits to the industry that we can still learn from. Yeah, and I think that's very true, but there's still lessons from that we haven't learned. And we're seeing what happens when you don't study the success of Image and don't apply it in the current industry. Because I'll tell you what the people in Image didn't do, what the creators didn't do. They weren't fighting with their customers and fans and forming cliques and what have you. They weren't doing that. Well, maybe they were behind the scenes, but we don't know about it. But I guess they weren't doing it out in the market, is what I mean. I love the Sunday comics. I have great memories of them. Dennis the Menace and, the Spectacular Spider-Man, Family Circus. I remember those. When I was learning to draw, I was trying to learn semi-cartoon like in older comics. Eventually, I just embraced full-on cartoon. One of my biggest influences was Bruce Timm. And how Bruce Timm he took a realism and he made it very, very stylistic to the point where it was simplistic but stylistic, and it worked. My biggest gripe with Western comics is them going from third person to first person narration. First person sucks when we're seeing things in third person constantly. Yeah, the first person thing is being overused. It is definitely overused for sure. It worked in some comics like Sin City, for example, but in comics, I don't think first person. For the most part. Like in some stories, it could work, but for the most part, no. Carbon Dioxide, he says, yo, 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 welcome to the stream, Carbon Dioxide. I also like Bancroft's style a lot. He just got his new book. It's not quite that 90s style, but it's inspired by him. And there's nothing wrong with that. And Bancroft's a very good artist. So Goth was pre-email, says the guy in his room. Yeah, I like I said, I knew a clique in high school. Very goth, very into the goth and very into their feelings. Not hoodwinked. We're in a rut that we eventually need to get out of. It's a sign that things need to change in a fundamental way. Well, part of what I'm doing, Big Mandalero, part of what I'm doing is expanding out of the circle of the internet and meeting people out in the field. Like, for example, going to the CCon, with creators and fans that are not privy to the nonsense that I see on Twitter and YouTube. They're not privy to endless streams of Eric July or constant criticism of other creators' books and telling people, well, we think this book sucks. And I'm like, well, we don't care about what your opinion is. Let the market will decide. The market will decide what books are good or not. Like Roy Thomas said, the people decide what books stay legendary. Those aren't exact words, but that's what his point was. Creators don't decide which books stay in your lexicon. It's you guys in the market. You decide that. You decide if a book gets to be a part of legend, of comics legacy. You decide that. You guys in the market, you customers, you decide that. So if one creator says, well, this book sucks, but you like it, who do you think has authority? The creator that had nothing to do with that book or the customer? Who do you think has that authority? Call me insane, but I think that customer has the authority, not the other creator. When I see creators going spurgy on Twitter over someone else's books and how we shouldn't buy it and it's crap, I'm like, Okay, well, I don't care about your opinion. I care about what the people that bought the book, the genuine customers. I care about what they think, because their opinion to me matters, not some rage baiting creator. 80s was the pinnacle of Western comics. They need to get back to that era. So many great stories. Yeah, get back to the George Perez's and the Ramirez and get back to that era for sure. I miss that era. Great story. The 80s was great for everything. Comics, movies, you name it. It was just music. It really was like the pinnacle of the art style. I was definitely around the wrong goths. Trust me, I was for sure. Poison L's was super goth. Okay, let's see here. Goth was more like I'm depressed, but I also don't care. That email was I'm sad and I really do care. So what you're saying is there's two types of goths, and I was, as Lady Shadowban points out, I was surrounded by the wrong goths. Probably true. It's probably true. Hey, listen, I went to high school in art and design. Okay, so that should tell you all you need to know. Let's see. Mort Walker is a G, says carbon dioxide. Happy birthday. Let's see. Here's a little gem from Lady Shadowban. And by the way, she's kind of new to the scene. And I was worried about her being a part of this because I didn't want her to inherit the stupidity or some of the dirt that's infecting our scene. But in some ways, her perspective is valuable. And I guess, having her in the chat, at the very least in the chat, I don't want her to get too involved in the scene, but she has a perspective. She says, I have to say that it is better to not let potential customers see you behaving badly, rudely, etc. I might be interested in your book that can change depending on you. Yeah, that is something lost. That's a bit of wisdom lost on creators in our sphere. And I say this because when we go back to Peter Bagge's Twitter, you don't see him going at anybody. You don't see him offering critiques on other people's work. He's just promoting his stuff. He's promoting people promoting his stuff. And it's all his stuff. It's all his artwork. It's all his books. It's all people talking about his stuff. It's literally promotion for him. That's all it is. It's just him, his artwork. You get a feel for what he's about, what people are saying about him. Here's Hate Revisited #1. Fun. It's fun and he's keeping it professional. He's keeping it a buck. Bear says that is CG's problem right now. So crap going on. Yeah, lots of that crap going on. Guidance says don't say it to Shane Davis, Malin, EBS, Von Klaus, etc. Someone needs to smack them in the head, say, hey, you know what? That is hurting our market. That's hurting the market. People are leaving our market. It's part of why I'm doing the convention circuit now, because I want to expand my customer base. And I think a lot of good customers have left the indie scene because of this shit. But you look at Peter Bagge's timeline, and none of that exists. And I'm just going over his post. Let's go over his replies. Let's see what his replies are like. So we hit reply, and he's asking about someone's art. So actually, if you go to his replies, and like Fiona Wolf would say, you get a sense of his overlap and the things that he's interested in. Hold on one second. Let me charge my phone because it is at 15%. There we go. Okay. Promoting Fantagraphics. Yeah, he's just replying to his art. He's replying to people posting his art and encouraging it. Encouraging it. Absolute encouragement. Again, not going after anybody's stuff. Not making a career out of attacking other creators. Or telling customers that they're stupid for liking a book that they don't think is good. It's all his stuff. It's all, even in his replies, he's directing it to his stuff. And nobody in CG or in any of these adjacent communities are following this guy. They should, because they can learn something. They can learn a little professionalism. Yeah, if you say that to some people, it'll get you blocked. Yes, it's true. Master Panda says, Lady Shadowban is 100% correct. When I decide to start pulling stuff out there, I have no desire to engage with back and forth disputes with people online. Waste of time. It is a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. But unfortunately, it brings in the numbers. Now, those numbers don't really equal comic book sales. And I came onto the scene not to be a YouTuber. I came onto the scene to tell the story of Road Warrior Drake. That's what I did. I came onto the scene for that reason alone. But this other stuff, I didn't sign up for it. I backed a couple people in the scene, and then later on, I wish I hadn't and won't back them again. Oh, okay. I got to ask about that. That's interesting. Interesting story. Bear says, ever since the Dungeoneers and EJ, CG isn't fun. It's all about stupidity and BS. They've lost their focus. Most, I want to say most. I think a lot of CG, not all CG. At least there are those who still claim CG that are just trying to have fun and promoting their stuff and trying to do their thing. But the thing I can say about CG is it's a fractured network. It's fractured. Too many splinter groups and no overlap with other creators, with their audience and all that stuff, and it's killed individual growth. And some people just are not able to grow out of that, whether it's because of habits or they feel like they have no other resources. So it's and this is and when I came into the scene back in 2018, I thought a lot of this was common sense or a lot of this was well known about indie creators, and it isn't. It shocked the hell out of me when they started attacking my book. Some people were attacking my book. I'm like, wait a minute, I never said I was on the level of any of these artists. Why are you guys coming at me? You never heard of like Beetle Bailey or the early Eastman and Laird stuff, whether R. Crumb or Ron Bodie? Like, it shocked the hell out of me that a lot of these people that were in CG didn't even know about these creators and the indie movement, because as it turned out, as I learned later on, their knowledge of comics doesn't really go beyond the 90s. There's a whole half a century of creators, stories, and characters that they're not open to. And that poisons an indie community because they're stuck in one way. I think Hollywood actors / you're free from it. Yeah, looking at you, Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill, let me tell you about Mark Hamill. Like, that guy had a whole fan base behind him when The Last Jedi came out and how they ruined his character. And what does he do? He insults most of that fan base because of politics. Man, what a way to tarnish your legacy, Mark. Really. When reading something, you have to acknowledge what the author was like. That's a good point. And I always maintain that my life and the choices that I make and all that stuff are going to be a part of conversation when people discuss Road Warrior Drake. Specifically, with Stephanie's passing and all that stuff, that's going to be in factor into the conversation, because I have no doubt when people read Be Citizen Road Warrior Drake, they're going to notice a certain, not a tonal shift, but they're going to notice a certain elevation. I'll leave it like that. And it's the kind of elevation that I think comes with life-altering events. So, Caleb in the house. Caleb Reynolds says, "Subalaz and chat. Hope one day. Well, yes, our days. Well, I think our day's going well. I think everybody in chat's doing well. I appreciate you popping up, Caleb. Hopefully, you're enjoying the content. And as usual, I am butchering the chat, so I apologize for not reading your chat properly. You deserve the utmost respect. If someone blocks me, F them at this point. Don't care about making alts. Yeah, it makes a very calmer, quieter space. I unfollow some people, and my timeline looks a little better. Although once in a while, I'll go back and check some things to see how spurgy things are going in certain spheres. So, because I find it entertaining, as most people do, but I don't use it to promote my books. And I try to prep up my timeline. Try to. Now, I have fun with other people on Twitter. Like, we do the whole kayfabe racism and all that shit, but it's all kayfabe. It's all lighthearted. And ultimately, it points to my book. It points to Road Warrior Drake. So it's fine. I try not to get any further than that. Although I kind of took a step back with the Acolyte stuff and going after the racists and the bigots in the Acolyte community that were attacking white guys and heterosexual people and all that stuff because they chose not to watch a show that wasn't catered towards them, and they were spewing all kinds of hate. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna go after these people because they're hateful and bigoted. They deserve to be mocked. But then I'm like, I don't want to pepper my timeline too much with that because my goal is not to be fighting with SJWs and danger here people. My goal is to talk about Road Warrior Drake and promote that book. So I have to steer myself clear and redirect myself. People need to go back to keeping the political beliefs themselves. Leave people alone. Yes, leave. I don't care about your politics. Just tell me a story, okay? And we're good. Companies are learning to this too. Did you see Lowe's and I think Ford are backing off some DEI shit? Yeah, they kind of realized that this whole diversity, exclusivity, whatever the DEI thing, it's not good for business. It is not good for business. It kills your business. And I think they realize, maybe we should maybe we should make money. Maybe we should help the economy. But I think in some cases that lesson might be too late because now they're pushing it in Japan now. They're pushing it with Bandai. I think recently Bandai is now implementing its DEI shit with their games. And I did a stream a few years ago about this push to make things diverse in Japan with manga. And I was told by a lot of people that no, Japan won't allow it because their corporate heads are very steeped in tradition. And I kind of had a sense of doubt about that. And now it's starting to look like that I'm right. That even Japan is not safe from this DEI cancer that's infecting entertainment. Let's see. I don't want to be president. I am not fit for the Illuminati. Trust me, I'm not. I'm good where I'm at. I really am. Mean girl click behavior. Definitely not meat-eating men behavior. That is for certain. A lot of that is live, and there I was watching do it like a sucker. Massive Panda says, see, that right there is why I always appreciate Ed and Jim. That's the cartoonist name. They always spotlighted a variety of styles. You never heard them say details good, cartoons bad. No, they were very open. They would talk about various types of artwork, and the way they dissected it, it made you love the art form. It made you love the medium of comics. Listen to stuff like that made me want to create and be a part of that conversation. I was hoping that one day, maybe 10, 20 years from down the road when I'm no longer relevant and I'm disappeared, but Road Warrior Drake is still active or still in the market somewhere, they have those conversations about the merit of the 3 Road Warrior Drake books, the 3 graphic novels, and they have that conversation about the evolution of the art and the storytelling. And I could just listen in and just be appreciative that people took the time to actually give a thoughtful analysis of those books. That's where I want to be as a creator. That's where I want to be as a creator. I don't want the fame. I just want I want people to talk about Road Warrior Drake. I don't mind being in the background, silent and distant. I got blocked recently by someone because I forgot to respond to their DMs. Well, that's their loss, and that's one less headache for you. That's the way I see it. Let's see here. That one Burger Guy cartoon. Phil Anselmo's in the chat. Hail, Phil Anselmo. Mr. Burger, that's what it was. He blocked you? That's weird. Huh. Well, you know what? If that's the case, then it's one less person to worry about. That's the way I see it. Are there aliens for Last Man's books? Well, Caleb, if you go to roadwarriordrake.com, well, actually, don't go there yet because it still links to my crowdfunder, but my crowdfunder is closed. But it'll be roadwarriordrake.com. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link that URL to my crowdfunder. Not crowdfunder. Good night. My comic second chance campaign that I'm going to launch in a couple weeks. Once I have most of the book complete. So in a couple weeks, and I'll keep talking about it until launch date. If you hadn't had a chance to back Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake, you will on a second chance campaign, and I'm gonna have both. I'll have Beast Citizen Road Warrior Drake completed or mostly completed. Let's see here. That make sure I'm highlighting the chat here. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, you'll have a chance then to back it, but it'll be roadwarriordrake.com. That'll be the URL. Because you forgot to respond to a DM. That's weird behavior. That shouldn't be. Yeah, people should just people get busy. You know, you can't expect everybody to respond to DMs immediately, especially when you get a bunch of DMs. So And don't worry about it. It's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, you can't flip out like that for sure. Like you gotta. If people are not responding to DMs, it's not because they're being genuinely malignant. People get busy. That's just the way it is. Especially if you're a creator, you have a job. In addition to that, you're trying to make a book. So, yeah. Leave the politics, prejudice, racism, instead off of social media and streams. You are potentializing new customers. And in order to grow, you have to cast a net outside. Select CG. Cast a net. Go out there to the mission field. I've done a few conventions this year, and I've gained a couple customers just on the convention circuit. And I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to get more people outside of the sphere because I don't want all the shit that's in it, all the drama, all the shit, all the freaking. I don't even want to say it, but I don't want to be tied to it. And I kind of want to get away from it and just sit there and have people talk about Road Warrior Drake. That's right, look at it. Shame on you. Absolutely 100%. She's right. A catch-up tier? Yeah, that I'm gonna have both B Citizen Road Warrior Drake and Street Champ Road Warrior Drake in the tiers as well. That's gonna be there. I'm also gonna have a manga version of B Citizen Road Warrior Drake. And I think I'm having a manga version of Street Champion as well on that campaign. I believe so. I won't have them together, but I'll have like the regular graphic novels together. I'll have the hardcovers together. So yeah, absolutely. There definitely will be a catch up. You call it a catch up tier. I just call them like bundles, whatever the case is. But yeah, they'll be there for sure. So that's right. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Hit the like button. As a matter of fact, I need to put the graphic on here. Hit the like button. That's right. So you hit that thumbs up. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button and that bell notification. So that way you know I'm going live. So a lot of these creators are on their period. It's not manly behavior. And I'm okay being a recluse. And I'm okay being in the back. I'm okay being back to what I used to be. Well, not what I used to be. I still am. You wouldn't know it, but I am very introverted. And while not necessarily healthy, it's got me out of a lot of trouble. And I kind of think being that way online when I'm not talking about my art is the best thing to be. I don't need to be in anybody's business or other people's business. Let me scroll up and skip a little bit of the chat. You want to distance yourself from people like Carol. Yeah, she's abusive. She's absolutely abusive. So I had to distance and yeah, because she threw the table at me and it was violent and I felt attacked. So I had to protect myself. So yeah, people are weird when they block you for things like those are the kind of people that you should be thankful they block because they're very emotionally unstable. People that do that are emotionally unstable. So, and of course, Locust here throwing tables because she got named because she can't stand not being there. Where have you been, Helmet? I've been streaming for an hour and a half. Were you on someone else's stream? Have you betrayed me too? You probably have. It's okay. I'm good. I can't. Yeah. So let me scroll down. I'm behind. I want to make sure that I caught up with the chat because my mic has not given me any issues. I'm telling you, it's because of the OSB. It's the OSB that messed up the audio in my stream on Saturday. So that means if I do draw streams, that means I'll have to either do the share screen as opposed to the OBS or do the OBS and just don't talk, which I think a lot of you would prefer that I don't talk. So, oh, you fell asleep at 3 a.m. in Germany. I'm saving you, Helmet. Pogs are unhealthy. I'm saving you. Yes, I have a tip jar. It's my PayPal, which I pinned in the chat. If you like my content and you want to donate $1 or $2 for coffee, I appreciate it. You don't have to, but if you do, that'd be great. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. I assume anything I write will get back to them. Whisper Network, Witch campaigns, etc. People will talk, but you can't worry about that. Hit the like and smash that like, says Caleb. Smash it. Smash it. That's right. Carol campaign. This is what you got to block. Block this. This is hatred. Block it. I'm sorry, but pogs are dumb. Oh, I'm sorry, but pogs are dumb, says Colin. Yes, they are. They're stupid. They're very stupid. I absolutely agree. But he's our good friend Helmet. We have to save him from the Pog addiction. Pog hating is punishable by death as carbon dioxide. So he's a Pog enthusiast himself as well. Well, there you go. Wait, he got himself a coffee and not sacrifices for you? That's cold. How dare you say that? She likes when I drink coffee. She likes when she knows that I'm happy when I'm drinking my coffee. I'm at peace when I drink coffee. What's wrong with Carol Campaign? You know what's wrong. You see her in the DM groups. She puts her unauthorized trademark violating stuff on the DMs, knowing I'm in the group to antagonize me, and she's threatening to put it out there. That's what. Helmet says, Pogs are the best thing in life, unlike Pox, which make D-word books. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way, Helmet. I'm sorry you feel that way. But it's okay, because my spirit and the spirit of my ancestors defies you, and I'm happy about that, and I'm at peace. See, there's no room for hate. There's that word hate, Helmet. You have hate in your heart, but I'm here to say that I don't hate you. I agape you. Oh, this is a nice little collection here. Fantagraphics. They got a lot of great books, a lot of beautiful looking books. And Peter Bagge is another guy in our series that we highlighted that has his stuff on Fantagraphics. We talk about Easy Seagrath Popeye. His stuff's on Fantagraphics. Basil Wolverton stuff also on Fantagraphics. So I think Fantagraphics, you guys should probably spend less money on Indiegogo and more on Fantagraphics. They are all anti-Carol, Kirby, because I said DJ's mic is too loud. Well, I mean, that's a given with his mic. That's a given. No, she's not carbon dioxide. No, she's not. Collins says, is Lady Shadow Band my girlfriend? Short answer, yes, she is. Although I don't like that word girlfriend. I like the word lady. So I call her my lady. And just like me, she's a fellow widow. So she understands the pain that I come with. She completely understands. So she's been great. Lady Shadowband is Blair White. How dare you, Link? I confirmed she doesn't have a cock. I confirmed it. So eggs on your face. Eggs on your face. Wow, I can't believe I caught up with the chat. Holy mackerel. I think Colin must have missed that stream. What stream? I don't know what stream that is. Probably. Maybe I missed the stream because I don't know what you're talking about. Did I miss a stream? I think I did. More of here we go. This is more of cover to cover. Here's an article on Peter Bagge. The 1990 speak to 2024 in Peter Bagge's Hate Revisited #1. That's the name of the volume of his stories. When Buddy Met Lisa. And you see, like, even with his cartoony style, he was still consistent in creating a world that we can relate to visually because it's similar to our world, but it's enough stylized that we can escape from our real world and enter into an alternate world. And this is the newer stuff. This is from 20. This is from this year. Yeah, we looked at this already. Hate Revisited, yes. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And promoting his stuff on his timeline, as opposed to getting in spats and back and forth idiocy. Oh, look at this. This was like an unsold pilot written by Peter Bagge. This is Peter Bagge's. Oh, so this is an animated rendition of his hate book. Interesting. Let's see here. Let's look at.
Look at this. Every Ferg on this planet is declaring itself to be the new mecca for today's dissatisfied youth. It burns me up.
Why?
Because everybody knows that the place to be is still our chosen hometown. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
That's what it does have a Hey Arnold.
As you may recall, the main reason we moved here was the cheap rents.
And sooner or later, the unaffected youth of today will find some other town with even cheaper rents to flock to. It's a simple matter of economics.
There's more to it than that. It's the movers, the shakers, the cats with a vision that make the scene what it is.
Oh, yeah? And
Very
who are
Nickelodeon.
these visionaries?
You're looking at one of them, my friend.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I haven't even started yet. But once I do, watch my dust.
Yeah.
Say, buddy, can you cover me? I'm dead broke.
Jesus Christ on a crutch.
Thanks, man. I'll pay you, but what the? Where'd everybody go?
I'm beginning to think that this city's day in the sun has come and gone. Everyone's moved on.
Let me just quickly get back to the chat to make this transformative, so we're not accused of taking anybody's work. So yeah, so you guys in the chat, you're kind of right. I thought the same thing about it. Has like a Nickelodeon Hey Arnold Rugrats style, but someone else mentioned Liquid TV. Liquid TV did a lot of this type of animation, a lot of experimental animation, and it has that look for sure. Yeah, so you guys are definitely enjoying the vision. I am too. I'm
On to greener pastures.
No! Are you telling me my window of opportunity is just slammed shut?
Afraid so, partner.
I wonder if there's anything left worth stealing.
Find anything interesting?
Just the usual.
Wool cap, flannel shirt, loaded syringe.
Whoa, that guy must have left town in a big hurry.
Yo, dude!
Who's that?
Are you the reps from the multinational conglomerate records?
Huh?
Why, yes, we are.
Great! We've been waiting for you, man!
Hold on, let me just go back a couple seconds and respond to a comment in the chat. Who did the voice work for this? Let's see. Does it mention the voice actors here? Let's see. Steve Loader. That name sounds familiar. Anyway, doesn't say who the voice actors here were. So I don't know. But continue on.
We've been waiting for you, man! We're Sweat Bucket! You see, I told you they wouldn't forget about our meeting.
I was beginning to worry that we were gonna have to crawl home as other failures.
I was minutes away from calling my parents.
You're still gonna sign us, right?
Sure. You guys rock.
But before we sign on the dotted line, there's one formality we'd like to take care of.
Yeah, man. Better safe than sorry.
Where are they taking us?
Just that cool.
Good day, gentlemen.
Lawyer?
But of course.
I'm thinking too that it is Peter Bagge voice.
If I may see a copy of the contract.
Hey, what gives?
Well, I guess those two had no intent.
That's where I heard his name from. Yeah, Kim Possible. I was like, yeah, that's where I heard his name from. Okay, I know he was familiar. So yeah, he did a few minutes of animation for Peter Bagge's character from the Hate books. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at this is like an unsold pilot, so it never got picked up by any distributor or any studio. But we're seeing it happen here, and it reminds me of how Common America is getting some animation being done for their stuff as well.
Of negotiating in good faith. Now, aren't you glad you hired me?
Yes, he's directed by Steve Loader. Yeah, Steve Loader produced. Let me see who did the voices. Here we go. Okay, so Christopher Favel, Phil Lakowski, and Aaron Smith. Those are the voice actors for this. Steve Helvey. Let's see, recorded at Magnolia Studios, Known Productions. See if there's any familiar names besides Steve Loader. Any familiar names here that we know? Because the art style definitely looks familiar. Nickelodeon / Liquid TV style. So, but this would probably be considered a hard sell today, and it's a shame because I hate the animation of today. It's gotten lazier, like especially with the DC animated movies. The animation is lazy now. There's no fluidity in animation anymore. That's not Peter's work. He's replying to it. See, this is more of his overlap. See, Peter definitely likes that cartoony style as a customer. He likes it as well. So here's we looked at that page already. But yeah, it's all either his stuff or stuff he's applying to for the overlap that Fiona Wolf talks about. And that's the thing that a lot of creators don't really do good on is promoting that overlap. It makes more sense to me now. It's now corporate. It's corporate now, Matt. Same thing, I guess. Sure, why not? We'll go with it. Did they say a song by Mudhoney? That's cool. I didn't see that, but yeah, I forgot. See, Mudhoney. Yeah, Mudhoney's 90s. They're definitely 90s. Wow. I don't know why when I think of Mudhoney, I think of Primus. But I wonder how many Primus fans are in the chat. Global Homo art prevails. That's Colin. Yes, it is morphing into AI. It is being overtaken by AI. It's not morphing into AI. AI is devouring it. As I said earlier in the stream, AI is copying. It's imitating some well-established creators. When I did my stream on Shadversity's AI thing, and we showed a guy who was a artist for D&D, the D&D video game, and he exposed that his art style was imitated. It was stolen by the AI prompts, and now people can create AI prompts of his art style. But I think guys like Peter Bagge and Scott McCloud and I'll say yours truly, we're safe from the AI theft because our style is so fluid that there's no real way to really replicate it because you can't replicate the fluidity of our stuff. Who did you bribe? Okay. This is another animation written by Peter Bagge. This one's 12 minutes, so we're not going to watch it. But again, just go to Peter Bagge's Twitter. You just type in his name, and it's the first thing that pops up. Go follow him. I'm amazed that nobody in our sphere is following these guys. Like I once I had followed, I saw that none of my mutuals are following this guy. It just goes to show how close-minded our circle is here. Very close-minded. I've seen Primus. I don't see a connection there. Well, I can't help you. I can't help you, Link. I wish I can, but I cannot. I'm powerless. Big Primus fan here. They're nothing like Mudhoney. I don't care what you people think. I made the connection. I'm going to stick to it. How about that? I don't care. Yeah, they're more like Nirvana. I know, but to me, like they came out around the same time, and I think Primus is more fun, especially Les Claypool. You guys remember Les Claypool? He did a couple underground movies, including Kung Fu Rascals, and he did the music for that movie, and I think he did the music for a guy for Dark Hero. Like he was one of the composers. I may be wrong though. Let me not, because he worked with Steve Wang, who did work for Gremlins 2 and the first Guyver movie. So they were pretty good friends, it seems. Leave me alone. Okay, it was a minor comparison. Don't get too technical. Such racism. Holy mackerel. E-Man90 says, I'm getting to Primus less Claypool unique among bass guitars. It was cool to see them do the South Park theme during his 25th anniversary concert 2 years ago. Well, they're still active. That's pretty cool. Claypool with Buckethead is fire, says carbon dioxide. I'm always gonna dig that music video they did with Winona Big Brown Beaver. I won't play because I don't want to get copyright struck, but that was a awesome video. What reason music videos were a thing. Now it's all gone to shit. Buckethead is a trip. I've seen him live too. Yeah, those bands are always fun to watch live. That's when they don't just sing, they perform. Reminds me of like Woodstock 1994. And then Woodstock 96 happened, and then that turned to shit. You guys remember Woodstock in the 90s? They had 2 revivals. One was a bit more successful. The other one was just chaotic, and it was just a whole lot of shit happened in that revival. I think it was a mistake bringing back Woodstock 96. Like, I understand why they did 94 because of the anniversary, but they should have stopped it there. They shouldn't have revived it in 96. I'm going off on a tangent. I shouldn't. But you're bringing this stuff up, and it's opening up my own thoughts on these things. Oh, 99. Okay. 99 was a travesty. Yeah. 94 was what I remember about 94 was Red Hot Chili Peppers coming out with the weird light bulb costumes. I remember that. 99 though, Woodstock was a travesty. Not because of the talent, but because of what happened with the sexual assaults and all that shit. It was insane. Like, I don't think it should have revived it. So, and big fires, yeah. 94 was the mud everywhere. Yeah, but that was also with the original Woodstock. Not as prevalent, I guess, but 94 was harmless. But 99 was shit was like ridiculously bad in Woodstock 99. So at least a single ha? I don't get it. A single ha? I don't get it. Oh yeah, we're still showing Peter Bagge. I mean, I guess there's not much more I can show because you see his stuff. You see how. Oh, this is a nice one. Oh, let's look at this one. This is a nice one. Very atmospheric. Actually, this is the kind of thing I want to do with my lady. Watching late night movies, the classics, with a bucket of popcorn, and we just have to fall asleep on the couch just watching it. Well, that wouldn't make sense because we have a bed that does the same thing. We just watch it in bed and fall asleep, and that'd be much more convenient, I think. But yeah, watching the classic horror movies and we're just chilling and fall asleep in bed. That to me is life. I want that. That'll be dope to have. Your first message. You mean the previous one? This one here? Wait. Buckethead's a trip. I seen him live too. I don't get it. How is that a ha? What do you want me to do, Link? I don't understand. How? Make me understand. Maybe I'm just being silly or special. You got to tell me. I don't understand. I'm missing it. I'm absolutely missing it. White Diamond put out the best albums of the 90s. Very experimental. I'll say that for sure. Yeah. What can we learn from Peter Bagge? Make fun books. That's what we can learn from Peter Bagge. Oh, there's a question about album covers. Oh, but that wasn't your first comment. I'm sorry. That wasn't the first comment. Hold on. Just how about this? Copy and paste it. Because I didn't see it. Maybe I'm being retarded. I don't know. Just copy and paste it, and then I can reply to it. Because I don't like missing questions. So please just go ahead and retype it. I will answer it for you. Massive Panda says, it's incredible how Bagge can simulate the effect of light from the TV glowing in the room by preserving light space and cross-hatching around it. Incredible stuff. You caught that too, didn't you? It's very simple technique. Now they do all kinds of filters and stuff with comics to create that type of of that ring of light. But it really is as simple as just not putting in any detail around that aura of light. We're moving on. The answer was no. Why are you hurting me? Why are you hurting me, Link? I'm trying to give you an opportunity to get your question out there so I can answer it. You don't have to be a jerk about it. I'm trying to help you. Don't laugh at me. I'm important. I'm significant. I matter in this community. I do. Rob Zombie, good musician, terrible filmmaker. Hey, fight me on that one. This movie suck. His movies absolutely suck. Yes, I will. I'll fight you, right? I'll fight you on that. He asked if you ever do any album covers because your style would look cool. Oh, I would love to do album covers. I think my style definitely would go with definitely with rock bands. Definitely rock bands. So, for sure, they absolutely would do that. But you know what? That's a lost art because now album covers are just the faces of the artists. There's no art in album covers anymore. It's just the face of the artist. Boring as shit now. I like the first Halloween he did. I mean, if you like it, that's fine. I mean, don't listen. You don't gotta take the word as gospel. I went to see House of 1,000 Corpses in the theater, and I came out kind of like, what the hell did I just watch? Like, I hated that movie. I really did. I went in there hoping for the best, and I got the worst. It really was bad, and I just didn't give him a chance after that. And he gets a lot of mixed reactions to his movies, but if you like his Halloween, that's great. That's awesome. I don't think, and even Lady Shadowband agrees with you on that one. Let's see here. Zombie puts his awful wife in every movie. That's why his movie sucks. His helmet. Oof. Helmet. Ouch. Ouch, helmet. I'm not a bigot because she agrees, guy in his room. It just means that I don't know what it means, but I'm not a bigot. How dare you? How dare you call that me? I'm a POC. I'm not. I can't be a bigot. I'm a victim of bigotry. I'm not a bigot. I can never be a bigot. Ever. I can never be a bigot. But this is going to be our Halloween. I'm just going to just chill, watch a lot of horror movies, especially the classic horror movies, like the Universal stuff. We got to watch all the Frankenstein movies, the Wolfman movies. Those two alone are just like peak Universal. I am not a racist. I'm a victim of it. I'm a survivor of it, actually, Bear. I grow strong from the racist spear chucks that you people throw at me. You can't call me that. I am strong. I live and I matter. The new one that I bought. Oh, the I don't know what that means. Talk about the Oh yeah. She bought a horror movie called Clown that we're gonna watch. She said it's frightened her, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Guy in his room says, I wasn't into House of 1,000 either, and for some reason it seemed like everyone loved it back then. You know, it's funny because there was hype about that movie prior to me going to see it. But it came out, and I saw it on opening weekend. And when we came out of the theater, I'm like, what the hell was that shit? And then when the IMDb had message boards back then, when people were allowed to speak about the movie that they saw rather than being suppressed, the reaction was pretty mixed. Actually, it was more people that hated it and liked it. And I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one. Holy shit. I was like, I'm not the only one. Thank goodness. Yes. Rest in peace, Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid. He passed away a couple days ago. Not to deviate too far from the topic, but Sid was for his size, he was a very good wrestler. Had some good angles, had some shitty angles. Well, remembered for a couple of good feuds, including the one with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart. He had a good storyline with the Undertaker back in '97. In WCW, late WCW, he didn't have great angles. He kind of helped carry the company as best as he could during the darker years towards end. But he had that horrible, horrible injury in WCW when he snapped his leg in half in the ring. You guys remember that in his match against Scott Steiner? Holy fuck, that leg injury. And the fact that he was able to wrestle years after that, like, holy shit, that guy was a miracle. Like, watching Sid coming down the ramp years after that injury should give anybody hope when you ever have a leg injury. If that man can snap his leg that horribly in the ring and still get back to wrestle and walk nothing, then that should give you all the hope in the world. So he was a very, very inspirational figure in that regards. So yeah, rest in peace, Psycho Sid, for sure. 100%. My Bloody Valentine is Essential Horror. Yeah, that's a movie that that's eluded me, so I do have to watch it at some point. I miss cool album cover art. Outcast, Atlians, and Aquamini. Aquamini had really awesome, funky, and expressive art on the covers. No, Outcast has some really good art. They definitely have some really good art. So did who else had some good artwork? Snoop Dogg's first album that had some funky artwork. That first album that he did, I love the artwork in Snoop Dogg's first album. That was like awesome. And it set the tone for his album. Like if you bought that album and you saw the artwork, it set the tone for the album for sure. I think another cool thing about the art here is that it feels really sketchy despite the clear lines. Yeah, I can see it. It feels sort of homely. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it has that midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. home look to it. It's very relatable, and it does it without being too detailed. It tells enough of the story for you to relate to it, and you can still escape from where you're at and just look into that world and just be like, yeah, I kind of want that world. So, yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, it was vicious, but he came back from that. Very inspirational. Let's see. Okay. Wrestling talk. Undertaker has injuries. He's in constant pain, but diet. But diet is show coming down that ramp. Oh, don't. Okay, she corrected herself. But it don't show coming on that ramp. Yes, yeah. Though he had a lot of injuries, and he definitely wrestled through some of them. But the Undertaker is one of those wrestlers that when he has injuries, he's not really good in the ring. You could tell it does hinder his abilities by a lot. Like some people like HBK and Stone Cold, when they wrestled through their injuries, you could see it, but they were still able to be active in the ring. The Undertaker really, because he's a big guy, it does affect him more so than the other guys. I used to airbrush a lot of art for death metal bands. You know, the death metal band, whatever you say about the music, I'm not a fan of death metal, but they had some funky album covers. Like I wasn't the biggest fan of Dial, and I play Black Sabbath stuff on my streams, but Dial had some very interesting album cover art. You know, the artwork was good in their album covers. Yeah, Doggy Style had some great artwork. It was fun, very comic book style artwork. Doggy Style, yes, it was a great artwork, and it was fun. It was fun to look at it. Again, it set the tone for the album. You were there just to be entertained by it. The rest of the 80s, 90s lived on drugs, legal and not to get by day to day. Yeah, they had to. Their bodies were being put to the test, and they were abusing themselves regularly. You know, we don't understand what it's like to be a wrestler until we become one, if we become one, and the things you do to sustain that lifestyle. We can judge it on our comfort seats, but we're not really in their feet, so we don't really understand why they choose what they choose to do to keep and maintain their lifestyle in the ring. Yeah, it's Undertaker's back. Metal bands have the best drawn covers. Iron Maiden's Fear the Dark, for example. There's a lot of great album covers that like you could just stare at those album covers and get lost in the artwork. Absolutely, for sure. One of our Outliers, Howard Finster, did a lot of album covers, including for REM was one of them. Although his style, like people will look at his style and you don't think like the death metal type style. It's a very unique style of artwork, but it still proves the point that you can put art style in album covers, and to me it helps sell the album covers. I mean, it helps sell the album. Now it's just people's faces, boring as shit. I read X-Pac talk about his painkiller addiction. Yeah, wrestling lifestyles is different lifestyle from the rest of us. We're not the same. Wrestling might have been staged, but it's not fake. Oh no, definitely not fake. Definitely not fake. And if you think it's fake, look at some of the shoot fights that happened in some instances where certain wrestlers didn't follow the script and they went to business for themselves. Like some of those guys go through real pain. Like with Benoit when he would do his headbutts. And I know there's a lot of controversy about that with the Benoit and what have you. And I'm not making excuses for what he did. but there was something to his injury, his head injuries over the years, and maybe I shouldn't talk about that. It's a tragedy all around. Yeah, Iron Man's Fear of the Dark. Yeah, seeing the mascot Eddie in different scenarios are just cool as the music. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It's a lost thing in album covers today. They don't attract as much because it's just people's faces. My dad, when he was younger, would just buy albums based on the artwork alone, and many times it turned out to be a good buy. It's a good point. It just goes to show that studios today are forgetting how to market their stuff. The appeal of album covers. Like, you could take this art you're looking at right now, you could take this from Peter Bagge and take away the word balloons, slap a title over it, and there's your artwork for an album cover. And it would definitely this would sell. This would 100% sell because it's so out there. It just draws people in because of the universality of its visual appealness to it. Those Iron Maiden covers, especially Power Slave. You can indeed judge a book by its cover. Well, that is, when it comes to books and album covers and all that stuff, yes, that is 100% true. That's why they do it. 100%. Megadeth ripped off that whole idea with having a recurring character on the covers. Ooh, this is an interesting conversation here. We have an interesting conversation going on here with album covers and who did what first and how they did it. 100%. Oh boy. But yeah, so far, like when it comes to our outliers, only person that's really gone the album cover route is Howard Finster. Howard Finster. So, and his art is definitely not in the same vein of what we've seen today and what's being discussed in the chat for sure. So, but it's just interesting to have this conversation because, again, there's a lot you can do with comic related art. Blind Guardian was another band with awesome covers. Blind Guardian is cool. Mm-hmm. Peter Bagge did a bunch of album covers, even one for George Thorogood. Let's look into that. Yes. Let us look into that for sure. Shout out to the people watching on Rumble. By the way, I forgot to hail Rumble. If you're watching in Rumble, leave a comment in the chat, and I will highlight you. Hail to the people in Rumble. Let's see here. George Thorogood album cover by Peter Bagge. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Tell me you want to buy this album just for the cover alone. Dope. There you go. That's the CD. That's the album cover from 1993. There was a rap group called what were they called? My yes, I'm having that moment again. Too much information in my head here. Let's see. Funk Dubious. There you go. Funk Dubious. They had an album cover somewhat similar to like the Doggy Style cover in terms of art style and everything. Again, another fun album cover. And I bought that album because of that art style, because there was a couple songs in there that I liked. But yeah, what do you guys in the chat think? Let me see. Let me scroll. I think I've skipped a few chats here, right? I think I highlighted this one by link about Green Day's Dookie. Yeah, they had a good album cover too. Yes. Yeah, when I do Art Crumb, I'll definitely go into his album covers. For sure. No, the Quaff is not outlier. The Quaff is an enemy. We don't talk about the Quaff here. He's the enemy. He will destroy us all. We have to keep the safe space going. Am I gonna watch Beetlejuice 2? Lady Shadow Band says yes, so there you go. I don't have to say in the matter, so I guess I should watch it because it's been decades since we've heard about it, so might as well go and watch it. I'm just hoping, I really hoping that it doesn't go into the DEI shit. I really hope not. 12 minutes to midnight was on Power Slave. Mm-hmm. Guy Doom says he didn't like the cover. Interesting. He didn't like the cover. I mean, I suppose it could just be a case where he his style is relegated to storytelling and not so much still art. Maybe that could be it. Let's see what other stuff he's done. What are the album covers? Let's look up Peter Bagge's album covers. The album art of Peter Bagge. Here we go. I'm just waiting for the site to verify me as a human being. Here we go. Okay. Let's see here. So he did Mad Daddies. Let me just see if I can enlarge. I think I can see it better. Okay. There we go. Okay. Mad Daddies, Alligator Wine, Take Me Back to Woodstock, Girl Trouble, The A-Bones. Let's hit the reset button. So you can, there we go. We saw George Thorogood destroys The Brood. The Brood. Is this the group that I played songs for here on the stream? No, this is a different group. I think. But let's look at this one. This is the Brood. His artwork here. Yeah. We saw Haircut. Ooh, Funland. Let's look at Funland. From 1993. Let's see. I'm just going to highlight some of the more fun-looking ones. Here's Nomads. I'm out of it. Just going on quickly to the chat so that I'm not too far behind. Yes. The answer to your question is yes. He's North Korean. Therefore, he used to be despised. 100%. I have an album cover from Anthrax that was done by Alex Ross. The band are huge comic book fans that have made songs about Judge Dredd. Anthrax also were Beavis and Butthead fans because Beavis and Butthead did a video where they made fun of one of their songs, I think. And they were on their Beavis and Butthead album, which I actually liked. I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, but that Beavis and Butthead album was actually fun. The Nirvana song was pretty fun. Their Beastie Boy cover was fun. So of Anthrax, I mean. All right. I have not seen the Crow even once, Carbon Dioxide. I should ban you for that. You should get banned for that comment. I have not seen the new Crow, and I never will. That movie looks like shit. I've heard the story of that movie. I'm like, oh, this is garbage. Hell no. I ain't wasting my time on that. There's no way. Absolutely no way. They glorify drug use in that movie. It's like, that's not who Eric Draven is. That's not the spirit of the comic. So it is rightfully being bombed in the box office. People are rejecting because it's not the story that they knew. That's not the story of The Crow. I have no hope for any modern sequels. Likewise, we should just make new stuff, new stories, new characters, new IPs. You know that. Going back to more album covers. Let's see. Yeah, he does a lot of like smaller band covers for smaller bands. But that's fine because it helps them get exposure because they need that exposure. And this reminds me of, what this reminds me of? Let me see how well you guys' knowledge is. You guys remember the Brothers Grimm? That cartoon, the Brothers Grimm. I think is the Brothers Grimm. Yeah, I think so. It came out around the same time Beavis and Butthead came out. It only lasted a couple episodes because it really wasn't good. Not the art stuff, but the way they did the cartoon, it wasn't entertaining. It was more gross out than anything. Oh, look who's here. It's EIN and Prime. Hello, EIN and Prime. Stop pissing off John Malin. How dare you? You're ruining our community. Stop pissing off John Malin. You son of a bitch. Here's an album cover for Peter Bagge's Rockin' Poppin' Favorite. So I guess he picked some songs he liked and did an album cover for it. I'm sure it's a bit of a thank you. Quickly here, another album cover. May I help you, dumbass? Yes, you may. This is from 2001. I like yellow things. Not me. I hate yellow things. The quaff should be banned everywhere. Beavis and Bud Experience album was solid. Yes, it was. I got it as a Christmas gift, and I didn't think I'd like it, but I did like it. It was fun. Absolutely fun. Nirvana, Run DMC, Aerosmith, Megadeth. Sir Mix-a-Lot was in that one too. Yeah, no, it was a fun album. John Smellin says EIN and Prime. You're part of the fact circle, guys. We don't want people in our fact circle here. John Malin said so. EIN and Prime. But yeah, this is a list of his album covers. You can see different designs for them, but his style is impenetrable. Sub Pop 300. Yeah, this is from 2008. Absolutely dope. I'm guessing the fact that there aren't any newer album covers would imply that he got the memo from the studios that no, we're not going to do fun covers anymore. We're just going to keep shit boring, and that's just how it's going to be, which is stupid. It's dumb. Did I say shout out to the people on Rumble watching the stream? Shout out to the people on Rumble watching the stream. Hail to the chat, both on YouTube and on Rumble. Rob Zombie did all the cartooning on White Zombie album covers and inserts. Yeah, he's a good artist and an interesting musician, just not a good filmmaker. So, not necessarily a jack of all trades, but what do I know? I mean, he's been directing a lot of movies, so I guess somebody likes him. Some Pop had some good compilations. Very good compilations, absolutely, for sure. So I'm looking at more of his stuff, and oh wait, is this another one of his album covers? Or let me see. Let's see. I think so. Somebody's sharing another album cover, and I think that's one of Peter Bragg's, I think. That's not Peter Bragg's right there, though. But so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fill my timeline with book images for my books and artwork and all that stuff related to Road Warrior Drake, because I think that'll help weed out the stigma of what's happening in our community, for sure. The stigma of it. And my mic is going pretty good too. Yeah, it's definitely the OSB that's causing the mic issues. So that means that the draw streams are going to have to take a slightly different approach, but it'll happen. Definitely happen. E-Man says, "Yo, Green River fan, hail." So for sure. Speaking of which, well, not speaking of which, but Dark Gift Comics in the chat, and as you had heard me say before, Dark Gift and I are going to be at the CCon Sunday, September 29th at Seabright Recreation Center in Seabright, New Jersey. We have tables there. He's going to bring copies of Pariah Blood Mud Honey, as well as other merch. I'm bringing copies of Street Champion Road Warrior Drake, as well as some remaining copies of the Ash Can from the first campaign of Street Champion Road Warrior Drake. I have the Ash Can that features a crossover with another CG character that's not getting reprinted. So those books are going to be a collector's item, not reprinting those books. So make sure you get those. But we'll be there in New Jersey, September 29th at the Sunday from 10 to 4. No, you're not going to be there, JD Kirby. You're not going to be there. I'm telling the security to not let you in. You're not going to be there. You're not gonna be there. So I defy you. I will definitely defy you. For sure. Let's not forget Gerard Way of MCR going on to create the Umbrella Academy graphic novels. There you go. No, don't encourage him, Dark Gift. Don't encourage him. Stop it. We're trying to make comics great again. We're not trying to destroy it. Don't encourage destruction. We have to save it. How much does it? Anthony will ever release an album? I have a good idea for a cover. A haggard guy sitting on a ramshackle fence eating half a burger while smoking a cig at the same time. I want that. I will commission that. That will definitely be commissioned at some point. I will make it happen. 100%. I will make it happen. No, you're not. No, you're not carpooling. I will. Don't mess with New Jersey cops. They will give you a $400 ticket. I'll make sure of it. I hate New Jersey for that reason. Just for that reason alone, I hate New Jersey. I'll tell them to let you in. You can sit at my table, which will be right next to Lazmat's. So, okay, so this is confirmed. Dark Kid does have a leader of a smaller campaign group of hate mobs and whispers and fences and all that shit. Destroying my space. It'll be the end of all this. Drawn? Obviously, he said drawn. He obviously said drawn. Although it's funny if it was done by photo. Say goodbye to your table. Carol's coming. No. I'm gonna have security on alert. Security's gonna be on alert. That ain't gonna happen. He does need to be kept off the streets. He needs to go back to the fence because he doesn't get to harass and join the harassers in my destruction. I'm rare in this community, and I need to be protected at all times. Too many spear chucks. We talked about dope comic covers of bands. Yeah, it led to the conversation from Peter Bagge, and then we looked at Peter Bagge's own album covers. Because that's how we do it. All the 80s and 90s rocks talk if you want to boot up GTA San Andreas and listen to Radio X. Danzig, Faith No More, Alice in Chains, all this. You know, it's funny because Grand Theft Auto 3 was the last Grand Theft Auto game I played. I played it till 6 in the morning. I've had some very interesting memories of that. And the music really does make those games. It really does. It's amazing. Yeah. Don't forget, pieces of tomato on the side somewhere. And the French fries. The French fries on the floor. They have to be on the floor because he wants them. No, I'm not reading that carbon dioxide. I'm not reading that. All good music choices, yes. He says, when I do Broken, I'm going to put together an album of covers that's going to be done differently than the originals that for the theme of the book, calling it variant covers. There you go. 100%. There you go. I beat all the GTAs through 3. So much fun. I only played the one with the cheat codes. That was a lot of fun. Because when you have the cheat codes, it becomes a different type of game. It becomes the Terminator. Because I start killing people and I can get away with it. But then that's when I said, no, I have a problem. I'm having too much fun killing people and I shouldn't. So I stepped away from it and said, I'm not going to do that. I do believe that when you take certain things and allow it to transform your mind, it's not healthy. So I have to be responsible with how I approach my games and my entertainment. Faith No More has a wide variety of genres. I love epic. Why do you want to kill people? No, I don't want to kill anybody. I love people. I'm a peaceful Pac. I only take free TVs when I'm given the okay by the globalists. Otherwise, I don't do it because I don't believe in violence. Now, the people in the chat coming at me, they're violent. Okay, I should have a thumbnail that says they want Elasmat dead. That thumbnail should be there. Every time these harassers come at me. Because that's the thing. Like if you hear about somebody that's getting criticized or canceled, they have to do a video on them with a thumbnail saying they want that person dead. That's the thing now. So I need to have my own thumbnail like that. I have no shame. I get DM all. So Helmet wants Dark Gift to do that. He's pushing for Dark Gift to do that. So Corn Rules says that's not true. Said JD. I don't know what you're talking about, but if you disagree, then I think it is true. Whatever it is. Lies last time. You don't love the Qua. We wish violence on him. I just want self-defense. Oh, that's what she mean. Yeah, that's what she mean. But that's not true. Well, this is true. I'm a peaceful pop. You sent me horrific DMs at night, and I'm supposed to be okay with it, right? But no, I'm shedding a light on your darkness. I want to see a lot of that make that thumbnail reality. I will. I'm gonna say they want me dead in my thumbnail. That's so stupid. Is it me or do you think it's kind of stupid that the influencers have thumbnails that say they want him dead? Like, remember when John Malin was quote unquote kicked out of C2E2? And they had a thumbnail saying they want Malin dead. Like, no, this is what I'm not to be a jerk on the floor. That's all. I'll provide you though. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, no, I'm take a wrench away. She's abusing the chat. We're here to spread information, not abuse the chat. Now I want to watch Beavis and Butthead. It's funny how this conversation got to this point because the artwork inspired you guys. Think about it. The fluidity of the artwork that we looked at in Peter Bagge stuff brought us this. Why? Because it's all it just your mind travels. Your mind is allowed to just wander out, and then you're able to reconnect some of the more final artwork that you've seen and the more vibrant stuff that we've seen from a time when album covers was an art form unto itself. Now it's not. I haven't rented you yet, Colin. I should rent you, but I gotta see how it looks because I don't want to see a blue in my chat. So I gotta see. I do gotta see. Yes, you have earned it. You've been pretty good, and you are a solid creator. I should probably rent you for that. Helmut says they want me dead. Sounds like an album from famous singer John De La Rosa. Oh boy, cannabis for Cal. Yeah, maybe she'll relax. I will join you on the hashtag. Maybe she needs to relax. Cannabis for Carol. And then she won't remember where I'm at. And then I can have my con in peace. And my con in peace. What do we think of JDA? Well, it depends on you. Everybody has an individual opinion of JDA. Some people like him, some people don't. But he's doing his thing, So that's what I think. I don't have an issue with JDA myself personally. I know some people do, and it's fine. I don't get involved in people's beef with other people. So he promoted my book one time. Yeah, I saw that. He mentioned you on Twitter, which is good. I mean, you got a network, so I'm all for that. Trust me, I'm all for that. Get as many eyes on your book as possible, Colin. That's the way I see it. And people like your stuff, then hey, grow your business that way. So totally. Guidance was the FBI just uncovered a. I'm not reading that. Not reading that. You're gonna get me struck on YouTube. That's an automatic strike. What are you saying here? I tried to get some today, but as I walked up to dude's house, I heard him angry screaming at his girlfriend. So I said, maybe I'll try again tomorrow. Somebody ship her some cannabis so she can leave me alone, so she can relax. Ship her some cannabis. So Dark says he's cool with JDA. Bear says JDA is nothing but JDA and more. Nothing more. Yeah, like I said, you either like him, you don't like him, whatever. That's fine. Like I said, I had no issue with the guy, so I just do my thing, and that's it. That's just the way I see it. There's no reason to get tribalistic about who likes who and whatever. Just if you're a creator, just put your stuff out there. And if some creator with a big audience likes your stuff and puts it out there, hey, take advantage of it. Get more eyes on that book. Get more eyes on that book. You guys are in Oregon, where weed is legal. I hate the fact that weed is legal here. Disgusting drug. Are we talking about synthetic weed, Colin? Because I used to think that weed alone smelled like piss, but someone told me, no, that's synthetic weed. That's what smells like piss. I don't think I smelled real weed, but I'm not a weed person, so I wouldn't find out and test it. I'm just telling you what people have said to me. It smells atrocious and makes people idiots. So. Guidance Room says Carol still needs a dealer for weed. It's almost handed out to people here in New York City. Yeah, you could pretty much go anywhere in New York. Well, she's not in New York. She's in bumfuck somewhere, ready to harass me. My good friend Felsbug in the chat, my artist for the cover for B-Sis and Robo Drake, he is doing a book with JDA. So yeah, he's got some fine artwork that he's handing over to JDA. I actually got some of the artwork. Felsbug let me keep some of the original artwork for it. So no spoilers, but it's a fun book. It's gonna be a real fun book. Real weed smells horrible too. Well, I'll take your word for it. I'm in California where it's very legal and very good. This link. Well, there you go. I'm not reading that helmet. I'm not reading that. Yes, please go to New York City. You'll enjoy it, Carol. Absolutely enjoy it. Some real weed smells skunky. Yeah, but people tell me that's synthetic weed, but I'm like, I smell that and it's like that's definitely weed and it smells like a skunk. And for those that don't know what weed or skunk smells like, it smells like burnt rubber. If you ever burnt a tire, that's what it smells like. I don't mind people smoking it, but I hate smelling it, says Lady Shadowban. Yeah, I don't smoke it, and I'd rather not smell it, so. Rabbit season helmet. Dark Gift says, past the Dutchy times, Cypher goes to the left. Dark Gift smokes weed. Confirmed. Absolutely confirmed. Kids don't do drugs. Play Pogs. No, don't do this because it'll hurt your brain. Don't play Pogs. Pogs are mini. Just get a frisbee. Don't cheapen out. Just get a frisbee and play frisbee because that's what Pogs are. The tiny frisbees for midgets. They're frisbees for midgets, and we're not midgets here. Weed makes me feel schizophrenic. Says carbon dioxide. It's amazing how we got to this point, huh? We just from album covers not to this. You're going for a Looney Tunes reference with Bugs and Daffy. I think I got it. Pogs rot your brain more than weed, to be honest. Colin dropping knowledge helmet. We're here to help you. We're trying to intervene for your health. Darky uses weed. Want to see my shocked face? I know, right? Color be shocked, right? What did you think? What you didn't think he? Well, let me not go there. He says burnt tire. What were those guys smoking? My shit smells fruity with floral hints. I don't know how to respond to that. Chat, how do I respond to this? I don't know what to say about this. Like, I don't know. I guess I take your word for it. I don't know. Well, Eliza, why are you hating me? Says Helmet. We're saving you. I'm trying to save you. Because I'm a pockling? Is that why? Because I'm a pock? I have to smoke because I'm a pock? I can't be sober. I can't be clean for my people and be an inspiration to my people of color. But I really, Blink, such a racist. Such a racist with the spear chucks. Again, throwing spears at me. I have smelt rubber. I smelt burnt rubber. It is not pleasant. Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, that's about 6 with the hard stuff only, says guy in his room. Why? Because I'm a person of color? I can't be sober? Am I allowed to be sober, Link? I mean, guy in his room. Well, you're all the same people now because you're throwing accusations at me. Hatred. I was thinking meth or freebase, Link. They're claiming that I do that stuff, and that's hateful and hurtful. Evil accusations. First you hate the Quaff, and now you hate Helmet? When were you evil? I don't hate Helmet. I want to save Helmet. Helmet can be fixed. We can fix him. Quaff is irredeemable, but we can fix Helmet. He is fixable. I believe that. 100%. You know, it's funny. People will look at my shit and ask me when I smoke it. I'm like, I smoked not a damn day in my life. The only time I've ever smoked anything was at the Garden Fest last year, where I smoked my first and only Cuban cigar. And I didn't have to inhale it into my lungs, so that was good. An ad in Spanish done with artwork by Peter Bagge. Bar and beer. Local recomendado. Local recomendado. Yes, I read that in Spanish. I can speak Spanish. I'm allowed. And here's somebody promoting their Peter Bagge collection. Nice library stuff. So, let's see. Scroll to the chat. Okay. Never forget, says my user Carol, when he said you were his friend and then took what away? Who are you talking about? I'm just a creator. I'm just making stuff. I'm promoting good stuff and being inspirational. I don't have time for your violence, Carol. I don't. Helmet says drugs are hour-long showers and hating everything good from the 90s. What are you talking about, Helmet? Showers are good for you. Take showers. Clean the pores. Clean the pores. That's helmet can be fixed, but JD and Quaff can't. No, they're abusers. They can't be fixed. They're abusers. They're gone. They're far gone. I don't know how anyone enjoys smoking either. I can't get into it. I did the Cuban cigar because I didn't have to inhale it in my lungs, so I spared my lungs. But still, I don't. I quit cigarette smoking weeks ago. I'm fiending. Well, we will join you, carbon dioxide, in your cigarette ban. So, Godspeed to you for your abstaining from smoking. That's right. I'd say Pogs. I love a good friend helmet, but he's into Pogs, and that's not a good thing. But I think I broke helmet because now he's aligning himself with Dark Gift. Actually, if Dark Gift and the helmet became a pair, they'd be known as Dark Helmet. Let's see if you get the reference. Why do you guys want me fixed? I'm such a nice dude. For mentally deranged German. We like your deranged Germanness, but your Pogs is bringing you back. And you stop it, Carol. You stop it. You stop it. I am speaking truth, and you know it. I speak truth to power. Dark Gift says, I don't think you need fixing, helmet. Just questioning Eliza's reasoning. You're wonderful just the way you are. You're wonderful just the way you are, helmet. Dark Gift approves of you. So you owe Dark Gift a much-awaited apology because he believes in you and he loves you. See, look, I've shipped Dark Gift and Helmet. They're now Dark Helmet. There you go. They've been shipped. Conegrazzo. March playing in the background. Spaceballs. Not so fast. Lone Star. Mel Brooks made so many funny movies. Yeah, Spaceballs was probably the pinnacle of it. Although some people would say Blazing Saddles was. Oh, no. Helmet is praising Dark Gift. That's the nicest thing somebody said to me in the chat ever. Be a little but more like Anthony. Alas, Matt. Fine, go sit in the fence with Anthony. There you go. Dark Helmet confirmed. Shipped. Done. Package it. Make that an album cover. Alas wants Carol to go to New York City and try subway surfing with Crisco applied to her feet. I said no such thing, guy in helmet. You can't put that upon me. I said no such thing. I have not done that thing. Let's see. This is an exercise in how to populate your Twitter timeline with your books. Here's more stuff from Fantagraphics. Oh, they did their bookstore is on Seattle. And they had a book signing with Peter Bagge. Here's some more overlap. Donner and Blitzen. So yeah, you pretty much get the point. Here's a great splash. This is a splash page. Let me see. I think so. This is in Spanish, but yeah. Oh boy. Oh, my throat is dry as heck. Let's see. New York City can suck it, says Carol. Well, I guess I can't disagree. Don't tell anybody I agree with you on that one. Don't tell anybody. Yellow Flash doesn't have the balls to release an Elasmat variant of his cover. Oh man. Yeah. People should take a chance on me doing a variant. You'd be surprised what I can do. You'd be very surprised. Something to think about. You're trying to get me to say something controversial? Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. Let's see here. I'd rather go to. You gotta go to Philly. I don't know about that. I don't know. I honestly, maybe it's because it's smaller than New York City, but I think I hate Philly more than New York. That's because there's more places to go to New York City. Philly has very limited places to go to. and the rest of it's just junky and ghetto and all that crap. I don't know. I have to disagree with you, Carol. I kind of do, and I don't like New York City what it's become, but I like Philly even less. No, don't preach that, Bear. Don't put that shit out there. Don't put that shit out there. Eric Lesh should have made your cockfight drawing an alternate cover. He should have, and he would have made more money. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but my artwork was better than Cliff Richard's in Ice on One. Tell me it's not. I think it is. Philly is just as dangerous now or worse. I agree. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if you're familiar with your place, then yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that for sure. But I've been to Philly. I'm from New York, and I don't like New York. I like where I'm at in Pennsylvania, but I've been to Philly, and I just found it very dull. There's very few spots you can go to in Philly. They had a comic book shop in Philly that was pretty famous, but it closed down because comic shops in America are closing down. And I was sad to hear about that because it was a very decent comic book place, and now they're gone. So he hates it because Carol is there, says Colin. No, I didn't even know she was from Philly. What do you want me to tell you? I'm just repeating what I know to be true. I mean, to be fair, it isn't Detroit. You're right. It's not Detroit, and it's not Newark. Newark is worse. I think Newark is worse than Philly. Newark is absolute. I have not been to Detroit, but of all the cities I've been to, Newark is absolute trash. Newark is absolute trash. That is Democrat hell over there. But both spots of Jersey, Newark is the absolute worst. Yeah, that's right. It does get boring. Philly is a day. It's a place to go to for a day. The 2 times I've been to Philly, I've been there more than once actually, more than twice. But I got bored fast. There's not much to do in Philly. It's not like at least in New York, there's a lot you can go to, places you can do, a lot of places to visit because it's bigger. But either city is still polluted by crime, and the illegal immigration problem has made it horrible with the rising crime and all that stuff. But that's over there. Don't tell that to people. They're gonna think you gotta. No, don't say that, Carol. Don't tell that to people. Why are you doing that to me? Now people are gonna think that they owe you something to come and harass me. No, don't do that. I don't. Yeah, the shops are closing now. Yeah, it's true. The comic book shops are clothing. Some of them are adapting to like other niche stuff, like gaming rooms and action figures and stuff like that. But Eric said, I've been to New York a dozen times. Last time I see the Statue of Liberty, which was cool. I've also seen the Lion King on Broadway. Yeah, there's more to do in New York. There really is. I probably tossed some change at Darkgift when he was in Philly, thinking he was just another hobo. You probably did. You know what? He was probably too stoned on weed to remember that. Not that I was buying mainstream comics, or anyways. It's just good to have those shops there. But if all they're doing is selling comics, they pretty much just close their own shop. Philly is straight up communist now, and it's worse because at least New York City is bigger. You can try and avoid the communists more. That is true. In terms, if we're talking the cities, yeah, but I think New York City. I mean, look, it's pretty bad in New York City right now. It's just that the reason it seems worse in Philly is because Philly is smaller, so it's harder to escape from it in Philly than it is in New York City. But make no bones about it, they're both pretty bad. No, he probably didn't finish. He probably didn't even have the cheesesteak. It's boring AF where I'm at now. Yeah, I found Philly to be boring. And then kayfabe aside, no shade to anybody that likes Philly. I'm just saying, like, I once I'm in Philadelphia, I will get bored after a couple hours. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Like, there's not much you can do in Philly over there. Carbon dioxide. I live in Detroit. High taxes, abandoned buildings, burned down houses, and no comic shops. Detroit was listed as one of the top 10 ghost towns in America by a study. I was shocked because Detroit was like the capital of the auto industry, and now it's a ghost town, a legit ghost town. So my heart goes out to those of you in Detroit that didn't vote for that shit. Y'all didn't vote for the communism that destroyed Detroit. So, but the ones that did, you deserve it. Not the ones that didn't vote for it. Fiona was been playing Starfield. It hits the gameplay hoops like I finally found the guy in charge in the USC. He's a side quest chain though. So Fiona, I was mentioning you a few times throughout the stream because Peter Bagge does the thing you talk about. He does overlap where he reacts to things he likes and you see what he's into. Here's one of his album covers. Japanese Twitter was promoting his stuff. Interesting. Let's see what this guy in Japan was saying. He just says Peter Bagge and some Japanese stuff. Oh, it's Peter Bagge City. Okay, so here's a reply from somebody in Japanese. He says, "Excuse me for replying. I think this person was the president of the National Cartoonist Association." Well, look at that. Interesting. He probably was. Very interesting. Newark is the worst. It's bad, but I see you've never been to Camden. Oh God, there's worse than Newark in New Jersey. Holy fuck! I didn't think that was possible. There's worse than Newark. Wow. I don't know how I feel about that. Do I want to find out? I'll just take your word for it. How about that? I'll take your word for it, Dark Gift. Fiona says it's 40 minutes to the comic shop to me nowadays. Users used to have more around. Wait, can Carol leave a bag of flaming poop on your doorstep, Lazmat? We'll love to see. I don't. And why are you encouraging violence in my stream? I don't allow that. Don't encourage this. I go through Camden whenever I visit family now. It's a horror show. Thank God I'm never there at night. Holy fuck. I can't believe it's worse than Newark. Camden really is that bad. Wow. Carol was probably still embracing when I lived there. I lived in Camden for 10 years. Wow. What year were you at, Dirk Crib 92? You lived in Camden? Holy fuck. Wow, it really is that bad. I've only been to the East Coast once, and it was at the DC airport. That's all of DC you need to explore, Colin, at the airport. That's the best part of DC. Look, now I'm imagining Carol with braces coloring in a coloring book, and she's 25. Guy in his room, yeah, if you grew up in New York City, you're going to think Philly is boring as hell. That's me. That is absolutely me. Yes. I found Philly boring, but not as boring as Wilmington, Delaware. Now that's boring as fuck. But yeah, Philly can be boring, and I get bored in Philly. One thing I like to do when I'm in Manhattan is spotting buildings from the movies. I passed by the church near Central Park West and thought of Ghostbusters immediately. Well, did you ever pass by the fire station that they used to film the warehouse in Ghostbusters? You should pass by that. I passed by that a few times. That Ghostbusters sign is still up, too, I think. I think it's still up. Yeah, they have it still up. Atlantic City is absolute garbage, too. Oh, that's sad to hear. That used to be one of the best spots in Jersey. Now it's shit. Detroit needs RoboCop bad. Your move. Yeah, all of New York needs RoboCop. Fuck these criminals. We'd like to visit the East Coast one day, says Colin. Pick your spots, man. Like some parts are good, some parts aren't. So, just saying. It looks like the 90s. Abandoned buildings, ugly and dirty. It's god awful there. Mm-hmm. How is Ohio so helmet? Got invited to visit a female wrestler there. Depends on which part of Ohio, helmet, but some parts of Ohio are pretty blatant too. That was not racist. Stop encouraging him, Bear. That's not racist. Carol was embraced as a dark gift. Ugh. Detroit could have had a RoboCop statue outside a police station, but they said no. They don't deserve RoboCop. Let it rot. Carol has never had braces. If any of you are on the Pacific Coast, I might go to Oregon's Mid Valley Comic Con. There you go. So Oregon Mid Valley Comic Con. Colin will be there. And that's what we should do. Like, if we're creators and we're in specific parts of the country, and there are local cons that are there, promote your shit and we'll promote you. Let's grow our businesses that way. Let's get out of the internet sphere. Not get out of it. Let's expand from it. That's what I meant. Let's expand from the internet sphere and grow our businesses that way. Camden makes Newark look like a vacation. Holy fuck. Is it really that bad? Wow. And Newark, when I went to Newark, every time I've gone to Newark, I freaking hated it. It is pure shit over there. But you tell me that there's a worse place than Newark and it's Camden? Wow. I don't want to even imagine it. Ohio is a sweaty armpit of the Midwest. I believe it. Lady Hawk, Lady Shut Up, it says, we have so many comic shops around here. Yeah, I've been to a couple down there in Tennessee. Yes, there's quite a few there. Cal says, even still, I probably threw change at the hobo. That was you. You probably did. I believe that. Go ahead and report me. I did do report me. Fine. I'm glad you did it. Report me, JD. Report me everywhere. Go to Elon. DM him a night letter. Tell him that you want him to report me. I freaking dare you. Camden is scarier than anywhere I've been in New York City. Wow. I will never go to Camden now. Thanks for the heads up. I will avoid Camden with my life. Yours is just a bunch of sissies. Camden ain't that bad, says Carol. They once fired their entire police department. Oof. In Camden? Well, when I was playing Spider-Man game PS4, it amazed me the level of detail in the city, like the mission. It takes place in Grand Central. I would take the train there with my dad. Grand Central was an interesting area. It was interesting. I walked there quite a few times in my youth. Camden is beyond bad. Hard to describe how bad, actually. Wow. I was in a nice area of Center City, Carol, so there's no way we cross paths. There's no reason for you there. It says, oof. Then you don't know Philly, Dark Gift. Move along. Ooh. Don't shade a Dark Gift. For once, it's not me, so I'm all for it. Stop mispronouncing Oregon. Is it Oregon or Oregon? Oregon makes it sound important. Oregon's like, real bit, ripple, things like that. Throw the net. What net? What are you talking about? How do we get to talking about Camden? What the hell? What the hell did I do? Is Camden, New Jersey? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Scroll down more in the chat here. Let's see. Camden is now patrolled by the county police and sheriff. The township police were highly corrupt. Oof. I am never going to Camden. I hope. Okay, so here's what happens. If the Russians or North Koreans or the Muslims nuke America, I hope it starts in Newark or Camden. Start from there. Because that way, when the apocalypse does happen, at least I don't got to worry about ever running to Camden or those places because I know they're gone. So let's do that. Camden was rated number 1 as the worst area for crime in the country for a while. Not sure if it still is. But hey, the governor of New Jersey, he went at war against the plastic bags. He saved New Jersey from plastic bags, so give him that. They did something good. They banned plastic bags. So hail New Jersey for doing that. Now we're bagless. Well, not we, but you guys in New Jersey, you're bagless now. Crime, schmime. We're going to fight against plastic bags. So there. Why are you guys in New Jersey stupid? Stop electing Democrats. They've already destroyed your state. You can still salvage it, though, but not by much. Did I say I lived a rough life? I was living it up in Philly, says Dark Gift. Dark Gift living a rough life. Well, I guess the trauma explains why you can't eat steak, so that makes sense. There's trauma behind that. I think. I didn't say I was any better, guys. Joe. I'm just saying, we have a Republican Senate here in PA, so there is balance here. Although I don't know how long it'll stay, but and yeah, listen, my state's kind of corrupt because they're vocal in election interference. Am I allowed to say that, or is that going to get me banned on YouTube? Maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't know yet. I don't trust YouTube. I shouldn't say that, but they were pretty vocal in trying to meddle, MEDDLE, in the election per se. That's all I'll say. No more than that. Oh no, Eric had an epiphany. Ghostbusters from 1984 and movies of that era are 40 years old now. Beverly Hills Cop, Spinal Tap, Gremlins, Nightmare on Elm Street, a good year of cinema. That was a great decade of cinema, not just that one year. That year, that whole decade of the 80s gave us some great movies. I wish Oregon would stop electing Democrats, but Portland decided to vote. Ooh. Yeah, that sucks. Huh. Yeah, the blue cities determine what the votes for the state. I love the Carol DG feud, says guy in this room. They're really going at it. And for once, it ain't me. Are you finally allowed to pump your own gas in Oregon now? Yeah, so you can't pump gas in New Jersey. That's illegal. Again, you can't fight crime in New Jersey, but you can at least have someone else pump your gas. So good job, guys. Good job, Governor. Good job, mayors. Good job. Maybe we should leave politics out of it. Yeah, let's stay away from it for a little bit. Let's do that for a bit because this was a comic book stream, although the creator is a libertarian, but still, let's steer from it. You can buy a really nice house for cheap in PA. You could, JD, you could. Now the real estate's expensive. For example, the house that I have, when I got it 6 years ago, I got it for a certain price. It is, I would say, almost double the value in the last 6 years. Real estate's getting expensive in PA. It's getting expensive everywhere. So, let's see here. Okay, so steering clear from the Politico. It's illegal to pump your own gas in Jersey. They don't trust the residents to turn on a switch and then turn it off. Again, well, let me not go there. I said what I said. Dark Gift and Carol are fighting about weed and all this other stuff, and I'm all for it. Let them fight because for once it ain't me. But I guess Dark Gift is supposed to stream. I guess he's doing a stream with the Slumlords. So I guess we'll call it a stream here, so we can all head over there, and you can harass him there. So, yeah, he went there. It's getting serious now. So maybe they should take the violence over to the chat. She's throwing lots of shade. So on that note, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for making the stream pretty interesting. We've had some good laughs, some interesting artwork that we shared. It was a good topic, good person to cover. Great stuff we shared, and a lot of interesting conversations in the chat. It's happening in a few minutes. He's starting at 11, so I'm going to end it now so you can get his stream ready. You can buy the founder of Kmart's insane mansion for $3 million here in Detroit. You've been pooping pants for days, says Dark Gift. Yes. Wait, hold on. What am I holding on for? Oh, Colin has the final question. Go ahead and ask us. I can end the stream as Carol throws tables at Dark Gift for once. Thanks for this. Thanks for the compliment, Massive Fan. I'm glad you joined it. When am I going to turn Quaff into? You were one of the good ones, Colin. You were one of the good ones, and you had to put that crap in there. Why did you have to say that to me as I'm ending the stream? You have to end it on that note, and has to end on that note. Very disappointing. You all hate me.